Nerd TV for another glorious Monday night. This time, for the second time in a row during our broadcast, we're bringing you the 1987 Cup cars at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Last Wednesday, you did see Chad Lang, Jeff Langston, and Wayne Grossi come through and qualify for tonight's event. And this is the main All-Star race. Essentially, it's the same format. We just have one extra set of 25 laps. So it's going to be 25, 25, 25. And then they're going to set the field up one last time for 10 laps for all the monies out there in the virtual land. And to kind of show off, hey, I'm the dominant driver here. It's all for bragging rights. And it's also all for fun. As always, my name is Jay Stan. And to my right, Mr. Pushibianek. How's it going for this All-Star event?
I'm excited, Jeremy. I'm ready to get this thing going. We saw a lot of excitement here on Wednesday in the Open, and I expect these guys to carry it over and throw a little bit more excitement out there. I think we got 16 drivers out there right now, so we got a good field.
Yeah, that middle stage there, the second 25 laps, some serious side-by-side action basically the entire time. And it was some of the best racing I have seen in 2022 for sure. And it drew a lot of fans, a lot of excitement for these 1987 cars.
Yeah, we heard a lot on the chat. We heard a lot after the race. They were enjoying it, saying it's the most fun they've had in the car. I think there was even some people trying to throw out the petition to get the Cup cars replaced with these. So no complaints from me because it put out some good racing. But we saw some good racing in the Cup Series as well. So, but yeah, we had a lot of chatter for these cars after the race Wednesday.
Yeah, there's always that new car feel that people who've been in the NASCAR world for a while, they just don't like. You know, it's a change up, and the next gen's a huge change. So when you're used to something, you get very comfortable with it. And, you know, if you've been a NASCAR fan for a while, these 1987 cars are like one of the true classics. So, you know, everybody loves them. They're going to be hard to beat. And then you throw in this next gen stuff. People just don't adapt to the new stuff. They don't like the new tech. They like the old, put the car in the driver's hands. And this car definitely does that. If you did tune in on Wednesday, you saw some excellent racing. And tonight's going to be no different. It's an extra 25 laps, and it is for all the glory for the Full Throttle Sim Racing. So I personally am super excited for this one and expecting some pretty awesome racing myself.
Yeah, and, you know, we get to see the old school paint jobs as well. We've seen a couple of different ones. We have, like, you know, the old Mark Martin scheme, the old Dale Jarrett. As you mentioned earlier before we even jumped on, Christopher's got the chrome going on tonight. Yeah, there's Days of Thunder right there, old Cole Trickle, City Chevrolet. So it's fun seeing all these old schemes they have out here. And even this one, even though it's not an old scheme, it's still, hey, yeah, there we go, Alan Quickie. Just love to see all these old schemes out here.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. They're not putting all these new skin style paint jobs on here. It's all the old classics. Well, we all know and love, and they kind of fit their paint jobs and their number combinations very well. You did mention Christopher too. It's not so much of a classic, kind of is, but the chrome is so strong, and he's always so vibrant with that chrome. And it just looks awesome out there. You can't miss him. You typically catch him on Wednesdays in the 13. Not tonight. You're going to catch him in that 47 Goodyear Chevrolet. So, yeah, I'm with you, Kenny. There's a lot of awesome paint schemes out here to give it a good throwback.
Yeah, we have a couple different people too. That's going to be in a few different numbers. Ryan's going to be in the 10 car tonight. That's because the 47, as you mentioned, is occupied by Christopher. Then the 32 is going to be Stephen Wu Allen instead of the 24. But then that's going to move Angel Quickie to the 15. So we kind of got some different numbers out here tonight for different folks. But we'll keep everything going and updated and organized for y'all tonight. But these cars are just so much fun. I really enjoy racing them. I think we were at Michigan either last week or week before last. Me and your brother raced there, and that was pretty fun. And it's always a good time racing these cars. They're such a handful, and they actually put the driving back into the driver there.
Yeah, a lot of tire strategy. The tires fall off a lot. These things don't just fly around the track. You know, you have to feather the throttle. You have to conserve them tires. You got to make the car feel good. Want to notate, too, right before we kick this thing to qualifying, you were talking about numbers and people and different style numbers. Andrew Palicki is 15 on the leaderboard. We're going to reference him as 15, but if you look, that red, white, and blue quick lane Ford is the number 32 painted on the door, so it's a little different, but we're going to call him as the 15, as the scoreboard, and as you just see him just destroy his car right before practice is over. So a little bit of change up there for that side as well. And actually, speaking of which, we did the qualifying on Wednesday. So this is going to kick it straight to race, something we're not used to. But it's only a one-time show. It's all fine. Practice is officially over. It looks like Nicholas Casey takes the top spot in your practice. But these guys are going to line it up how they qualified on Wednesday. So as they get that grid sorted out, we will bring that to you. Make sure everyone's all lined up in the correct locations before we officially read that down.
Yeah, it looks like they got everyone starting to jump on the grid. I think we got everyone lined up here, sitting on the pole. As we saw on last Thursday, it was Chuck Switting. He took the pole spot there with Brody Hanna rolling off in second. Brian Bliss, third. Going out in fourth is Steven Allen. Fifth is Ryan Hedrick. Sixth is Andrew Palicki. Rolling out seventh is Brandon Elder. Eighth, Richie Coy. Ninth is that Crow Machine of Christopher. And rolling out 10th is Stephen Wu Allen.
11th place, you're going to find Simon Magden. 12th place, Nicholas Casey. 13th, Tony Solari. 14th, Jeff Langston. 15th, Chad Lang. And 16th, the last stage winner from Wednesday, the number 7, Wayne Grossi.
And, you know, I would imagine the quick fix and everything is still on these, Jeremy. I'm not sure. I didn't get with Brody before this race to see if they were doing that on this one or not. So we'll find out if we see another wheel go flying off and then magically repair itself.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I know there's no fast repairs currently in the session, which that's always true. I think it's going to be a car fast repair as they get damaged, but like you said, we're going to figure that out once we see one of these cars hit the wall, and it's probably going to happen. These guys are used to the fast sticky stuff. Now you got these big boxes that have no mechanical grip, and it's just all on the Goodyear tires. So, but right now, 16 cars taking the field tonight for 85 laps around Charlotte to figure out who is the best sim racer for the Full Throttle Sim Racing Series, as they're currently in turn 4, waiting for that pace car to drop down so we can get the first set of 25 laps underway. You should not see any green flag pit stops. It's all controlled by the competition yellows between each stage, 25, 25, 25, and then 10 to end it all. Pace car is down, number 75, Chuck Sweeting, waiting for that green flag from Mr. Larry.
Green flag, green
He's
flag.
out premature as always, and there we go. Green flag is out. The top 2 get an excellent start here, and it looks like everyone's still side by side for the most part, entering turn number 1.
Yeah, we still see side by side, as you mentioned, going into turn 1 and 2. Brody Hanna here on the outside, during that Hooters 23 machine. He's going to go ahead and take that forward right out to the front. Big run there off of 2 as we see Chuck Sweeting falling back, and this pack here is kind of bunching up behind him.
Yeah, 2 by 2 behind him. The first 3 or 4 cars off, single filed out. Brody Hanna with an excellent start here, already about 3 car lengths out over Chuck Sweeting, finishing up lap number 1. So he's going to take the first car to lead a lap tonight. But yeah, they got the 51 Brandon Elder along the inside of the number 10 Ryan Hedrick. They're the first 2 cars side by side, and they're side by side behind him for the next couple rows. And we got one at the wall, actually. It looks like the 32 on screen here. There's actually a couple 32s. You're going to see that's Mr. Stephen Lou Allen, a little bit high in turn number 1. Gets a little bit of wall glue. Takes it off, though. No harm.
That little Days of Thunder here, Jeremy. The race that never happened between the 51 and the 10 here. Brandon Elder trying to make that pass on the inside of Ryan Hedrick. Almost completes him here as they're coming down the front, but he's got 2 of them beating on the back of that bumper of his, saying, come on, we want to get by as well. One of those being Richie Coy, and he was our Cup Series champion, so he wants to get out there and lead this All-Star race.
Yeah, absolutely. He definitely won that Cup Series in dominant fashion there in the back half especially. And yeah, he's definitely want to get up there, but they got those stages, so he can always reset and get it re-gripped up, and just kind of take it easy. Don't go out there and call. Oh, speaking of which, the number 10 with an excellent save there gets tagged by the Budweiser machine. Also, the number 12 Wrangler, looks like Jeff Langston gets shot off to the inside there, infield, gets alongside the number 32 of Lou Allen, sent him to the infield, but looks like everyone was keeping it straight. No cautions, just bad luck there for Jeff. He's got the reset for heat race number 2.
Yeah, that officially was the pass in the grass. You mentioned it last week. He wasn't in the grass. That one he was, but we saw Brandon Elder right there in turn 1 and 2. He was up in the wall as well. So he lost a little bit of ground. But I want to kind of circle back. You mentioned Richie Coy's got those stages that he can kind of just sit back and relax. You ever seen Richie Coy race like that, Jeremy? Yeah, I don't think so. He's making his way up to the front. He's not sitting back and relaxing.
The only thing different is I'm used to seeing that guy top 3, top 4 at most every time. Now he started just inside the top 10 area, and he's only got 2 cars passed in the first 5 laps, but this is a whole different beast. So you want to take care of your tires. You really do with these cars, especially with these competition yellows. Something that the old school boys, they're not used to having. You want to take care of them, because when you can make that pit stop, you can just creep closer and closer until the last 10 laps. And then you say, hey guys, look at me. I'm here, and I'm going to take home that W.
And one thing I want to mention, right as we were getting ready to go green, Brody came over the radio and said, hey, just keep an eye out. These cars might be in the future here sooner than later. So that might be some good news over here at Full Throttle Sim Racing for these guys that they're enjoying the 87. So keep an eye out for that. We'll see what Brody Hanna's got up his sleeve.
So they're already locked in for the next gen. Starting next Monday is when the 2022 B schedule starts. So, by the way, speaking of which, we didn't get to do sponsor plugs during lack of qualifying. So, FullThrottleSimRacing.net. Always love to shout out these guys first. You're watching them on your screen right now. The seasons, they actually start this Wednesday with the Truck Series taking on Charlotte for the first points race of 2022B. So please make sure you get registered. That's at FTSR.net. Up the top center of the page, you're going to click on the registration for the 2022B schedule. Make sure you sign up for one of their 4 series. It's going to be a great time. I expect to have you guys be there soon. And these guys have all single file. Looks like that 23 machine, that Hooters Brody Hanna. He had that great launch. Took him a few laps, but then Chuck Sweeting is now on his tail, and they are actually nose to tail, 3, 4, 5 cars back, 6 cars even. So this turns out to be a really good battle here for the front spot.
Like you mentioned, they're just car length or less off of each other. These top 5, 6 cars, and that pack even right there with Brandon Elder, they're trying to make their way up. Great racing. Only had that one little mishap there, the 12 of Jeff Langston going through the grass. No worries there, like you mentioned. We got these stages, so plenty of time to get back up there, but really dicey. We see right there, battling for 3rd place, Brian Bliss and Steven Allen. They're going at it. They're inches off each other coming off the turn. Great battle here. You see Brody Hanna coming off of turn 4, still leading the way though. Sitting right behind him, the 75 of Chuck Sweeting. Trying to make it close if he can, but it looks like he's not going to be able to get it on this lap. But we still got a great little battle here, battling right behind him with Brian Bliss and Christopher there. Putting the set 14 of Steven Allen though on the outside, with Richie Coy looking on the inside.
Yeah, they're now signing. Actually, the leader 23. I was looking at him, and he gets a little sideways there. It's going to allow the 75 of Chuck Sweeting to try to make a pass here on the inside. Let's see if he has that grip to do so. These cars like to push when you're side by side on the bottom. Let's see if he has that grip. Let's see if Brody can get a great launch off the corner. A little wiggle from that 23. It's going to be a dead heat to the start-finish line to end lap number 10.
You see Richie Coy back there. He's still fighting, trying to get past the 14 of Steven Allen. He wants to get up front here. All these guys, they got the speed, Jeremy. It's just they're all pretty much dead even. It's just what run can you get. As you see between these two, Chuck and Brody here, as Brody's getting the run on the outside, which we saw that prevail a little bit more on Wednesday. So I expect the outside to lead the way, but Chuck's keeping it tight here on the low side.
Quick shout out here on the chats. Let's go the Magninator for Simon Magden. That's the Rumble Racing's official page there. So with that being said, please join us on the chats. This is the All-Star race. It's all for fun. So please throw out any type of cheerleader comments you got out there, or just comments in general. We'll love to shout them to you as the race continues on. But you see right now, 23 and 75 still added about 2 laps now, side by side. They don't want to give up that top spot, King.
No, they don't. They're battling, and you see who moved his way up here, Christopher in the 47 right there, right behind him. He's trying to mess with these guys, maybe potential of taking 1 or 2 for 1 pass that we saw before. He's going low, he's going high, he's trying to see who's got the better line, but these two are just side by side. Great racing between these two leaders, especially with these cars, as we know how they like the handles. Right behind him, you see Brian Bliss kind of sliding right up, almost into the back or to the side of Richie Coy. They're going to be 3 widers are coming off of 2.
I was just going to mention how great this race was, and the 18 got a little loose there on the bottom of turn number 1 and 2, went 3 wide through the exit, and he settled in back. He lost 3 spots in that exchange. See the 19 Richie Coy taking over that spot in those 4 cars here, puts him in 4th place. That's going to single file out Steven Allen there now in 5th, Nicholas Casey in 6th, and Brian Bliss ends that pack in 7th.
That's exactly what Richie Coy wanted. Just, got him out of the way one way or another, whether it was him getting loose or the pass, but it just worked out in his favor. And Richie's going to see if he can run these guys down. Sitting about a second back from the leaders right now, so he can make his way up there. But you mentioned it earlier, too. We got plenty of stages, so he's made his way up to fourth, though. So, I mean, you said you only see him in the top three. He's trying to get there on this next stage. So, we're coming around. We got 14 laps completed on lap 15 right now as Brody Hanna still leading the way.
Steve Loomis on the chat saying Blackwater. You know who he's rooting for with the exclamation point at the end, rooting on his teammates. But yeah, it looks like 23 is finally able to clear that 75. It single files out first through third. Going back to fourth, looks like a nice little battle. Nicholas Casey with one big ass block on that number 14 of Steven Allen. Going down halfway down the back stretch, and they're going to have to regroup here. The 14X with a great launch off of turn number 4 is going to put them side by side. Potential lead change entering lap number 16.
Yeah, we see Richie Coy's going back and forth between these two. He's going high then low. He's got Nicholas Casey trying to get on his high side. He's got Steven Allen trying to go on the low side. We might have 3 wide going here. Steven Allen's trying to make the pass here on Richie Coy. He's not going to be able to make it. Richie's going to get that run on the outside. It's going to bring the 86 of Nicholas Casey right with him. We see right on the back bumper here. Richie Coy's are heading into 3 and 4.
Nicholas Casey just throws Richie Coy right into that corner. The 86 with a great run there on the top of turn number 2. Let's see if he can recreate that coming off the turn number 4. A little bit less speed, but it's still going to carry him pretty decently as he's going to be just over Luan in that 14 at the start-finish line. We're going to see on the back bumper of Richie Coy, see what kind of run the 86 gets. But the 14 really loose, hits the apron, shoots up the track there. It's going to really check up that inside line. 86 with a great launch once again off the top. Going to look to the bottom of Richie Coy and try to take over his spot or inside fourth place.
Yeah, like you mentioned, that checked up a couple of them. Checked up the 18, Brian Bliss, Andrew Palicki, Brandon Elder, all those checked up. You see that pack there, about 6 cars right now battling it out as Richie Coy still in the way. But Nicholas Casey, Nicholas Casey's got the run. He's going to try and clear him as they're heading in the 1 and 2, but Richie Coy's going to have the outside momentum, see if he can hold him off. But Nicholas Casey's got a fast car tonight, Jeremy.
I was just going to comment that Chuck Sweeting had an issue trying to get around Brody Hanna on the bottom, but not for Nicholas Casey. He knows how to run this track pretty good. He saved them tires, and he is making a charge here. Now inside fourth place, passes the 19, no problem off of turn number 2. And now we got another side-by-side battle here between Andrew Palicki and Brian Bliss.
Yeah, you got one down there on the bottom. Brian Bliss going to lose another spot here. Looks like you can see Brandon Elder going on the inside as well, trying to make a 2 for 1 there as he's stuck on the high side. That's the 32 as you see on screen, but it's really the 15 on the leaderboard of Andrew Palicki. He's rolling in 7th place right now, trying to make up some ground. Still a great little battle here, but Nicholas Casey's trying to get away from these guys before this stage ends. He's not going to be able to run the leaders down. They're pretty far back, but maybe he can pull off in 4th. Kind of speaking of the leaders, we're setting up here. Christopher, as you mentioned, when Chuck Sweeting's going for that pass, I put him in 2nd. He's been able to hold on to that 2nd place as he's trying to get past Brody, but Brody's just not giving it up.
Stouffer is there, and shout out to him, starting 9th place. Right now, currently in 2nd. We got 6 laps to go before this thing of stage number 1 is completed. Nicholas Casey, who's in 4th, started 12th. So that's going to be your 2 really fast runners here through this field. And just imagine, Kenny, when stage number 2 starts, if these guys can maintain this spot after the caution flag and they make their pit stops, they might be a dominant piece there to try to duke it out for the winner of stage number 2.
Yeah, it's going to, as these runs start going and these stages start clicking off, you see even back running, he's in 10th place right now. But Wayne Grossi, he started 16th, so he's moved up 6 places, and we know that he's got a fast car. He was able to get in from the open on Wednesday. So I wouldn't expect anything else from him. He had a great run at the end of the season, and he could also be battling for a top 5, if not the win, after a couple more stages here later on in the night.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. Kind of trying to see how this damage situation is. We talked about it right before
there,
these guys
Elder
went green flag. And Brandon Elder in the wall. See what happens to his car here. He's got that pit stop coming up real soon. And yeah, I think you're correct. It looks like didn't see much damage come on that car at all. There it is. The tire came off and then it repaired. So yes, that little chameleon effect is still in for tonight's main event. You will see these cars auto repair. If you did not see that on Wednesday, essentially the car hits the wall, has some damage, and within probably 2 seconds, the car heals itself, and you're back up and good to go. 51 hits the wall there again, but clearly that car's back up in normal shape because of seeing that tire come off and then reinstalling itself.
And that's another thing. Even, it's cool that they put this on for the All-Star event because you can keep going. You don't want to ruin your night off of something like that. Have some fun with it. As you mentioned, it's a fun night. But with these cars, I love the damage on these cars, the way that they do it. You hit the wall and you just see all of a sudden your wheel just rolling right beside you. And you're like, well, that's, we're done tonight. I just love seeing that stuff too on these old cars. Just adds more to what makes this series awesome.
Yeah, these cars they're so much fun. So much fun to drive. That's number one. They look awesome, number two, and then they can take a beating, and they don't care. And which it's another great selling point on these cars. And maybe Brody's onto something. Maybe that switcheroo might be a positive thing. We'll have to find out. Maybe in 2022 season C, the B every season they do is basically in thirds. So it's gonna be 13 weeks of action, and then after that they're gonna have probably another half a week off, and then they're going to kick back in and finish out the season. So that being said, these cars are pretty awesome. But right now, this is the last lap of stage number one. We can't let that go. Brody Hanna going down the backstretch has about a 3-car length advantage over Chris Stouffer in that 47. I don't think Stouffer's going to have enough time to get there. And turn number 3, nice and clean. Brody Hanna is going to lead it off of turn number 4. And it looks like Brody Hanna is going to be the winner of stage number 1.
Yeah, you can see right there. This is why Brody's loving these cars. Just one. I mean, he dominates in pretty much anything that he's in anyway, so it doesn't matter. But it just adds to it. It's always having fun when you're out there leading. But yeah, Brody Hanna is going to take over that top one. But you're going to have a nice little top 5 here, Jeremy, on this stage 2 restart. We'll see what pit stops roll out afterwards.
Yeah, we'll have to see exactly how they reline up. Since we're under caution, we'd like to give out a couple shout-outs to our sponsors. Since we didn't have a qualifying session, we're kind of doing a little different for you guys. We always got to give the thank yous out. So shout-out to the Sim Racing Points, official truck series sponsor, going to catch starting this Wednesday for 2022 Season B. It's your all-in-one inclusive league points management system. It allows full-screen displays on your website or customized widgets, however you want to display your points. And it's a simple software. You just do a quick upload of the export, and whatever you have set up on your website, it is fully good to go. It is an admin's best friend to keeping track of a bunch of stats that this program offers. So go to simracingpoints.com, check out the pricing plans, and get your league registered, because you will not regret getting your league up to date with Sim Racing Points. These guys are on their pit stall right now. We're going to see who is the winner out of pit road, and then we'll go over some other thank yous for the league.
Yeah, we see Brody coming down first one. That Hooters Underbird, classic Alan Kowicki scheme there. So, slow pit stops on these, Jeremy.
Yeah, slow for sure, because it's back to 1987. They're simulating. Whenever they're eating ice cream bars while changing the tires at the same time. These guys were not fast. There's that Underbird for you. Clear as day there. I'm going to have to say I can still see the TH. So
yeah, a little bit.
The game actually etched them in there, so it's a silent Thunderbird. It's Underbird. So we got you red-handed there, Brody. You can't get away with it altogether, but it looks like the number 10 here took 2 tires, if I'm not mistaken, Ryan Hedrick. So it looks like he might be coming out in first place. Looks like we have another guy taking strategy. That's Jeff Langston at 12, who spun out early with contact off of turn number 4. He's going to look like to take 2 tires, and so we might see the stage 1 winner starting third.
Yeah, and good strategy play, though, honestly, between those two. If you're going to try the 2-tire strategy, try it early, see if it works for you, see how many laps you can get on it, because you never know, you might end up in this same circumstance come the last 10 laps. And if you're out there taking 2 tires and you can make it 10 laps with some speed against 4 tires, hey, you might be sitting in the catbird seat there. So we'll see how it plays out, and this could change the strategy of some other players too, as some other guys, as we see how it turns out.
Yeah, and those 2-tire strategies, let's see if they can get a grip. Speaking of grip, Martin Sports, home of the sim gloves of all sim racing, official apparel partner for the Nerditudes as well, including the pre-orders for that Nerd Swag gauntlet-style glove with the digital watch printed on the glove. It's kind of cool. But they have a lot of products. They have fully customized T-shirts, hoodies, hats, different kind of genres, and the apparel. I wear it personally, and it's super comfortable. So you're gonna check out everything at martinsports906.com. The gloves, especially, they keep your hands super dry in long events, and you won't regret it. So, and we have a nice promo code too, and that little green and white box there on the bottom of that ad, Super Nerd, 25% off everything you purchase from martinsports906.com. It looks like pace car's about to dip down here to start stage number 2. Number 10 looked like he's going to be starting first. You don't see it on the leaderboard until these guys start the line here. Actually, Mr. Dustin in the background's got it updated even before I do. But the number 10 there is going to be starting first place here. Green flag is out, and the 23 Hannah, once that is lead back, he gets a great start there behind him. Jeff Langston in that 12 going to have a pretty decent start himself, and they're going to be side by side, minus the leader going into 1.
You can just see those two with those first tires just pushing them. Push Ryan Hedrick. Brody Hanna did on that restart with a great jump, and then 12 car Jeff Langston. Christopher's all the way the back of him, and he kind of washed up a little bit, but great jump there. And start by Brody Hanna. He was all over the back, but it's cool.
We got a wreck
car in the back.
Oh, huge wreck. The 46 and the 4 just T-bone each other in the middle. 3 and 4. Caution is out for the first racing incident of tonight's stage number 2, lap number 2, involving Chad Lang, who qualified in on Wednesday. Also on that number 46, you can't miss it, that City Chevrolet, Simon Magden. Heavy impact, but thankfully for these guys, their cars self-repair. Just get some 4 fresh Goodyears, and you're good to go.
Yeah, that's the good and fun thing about it. You can just get it repaired. But I saw it right as you were saying something. I looked up, and I could see him just sitting sideways trying to save it. And about right here, I was like, nope. And 46 just hard into him right there, nowhere to go, and almost rolled over there.
These cars are heavy, too, so I'm surprised that car was able to get up in the air like that. But that tire strategy proved to not be good. That number 12 Langston just fell back tremendously. See another clip of this. The boom, heavy impact into that left rear tire of Chad Lang, sent him flying almost into the outside wall. And that's going to bring out the first caution. But 12 and 10 are lining back up first and second. Not sure how the scoring loops go, but we clearly saw the 12 getting past crazy like before that caution came out.
So I think I just heard him come over the radio and say that it reverts back to, because it doesn't run the cautions. It's not counting cautions tonight. So then it's going to revert back to what it was the lap before. So I think that's what's going on here of why everyone's kind of getting moved back around position. So unfortunate, and fortunate for some drivers and not fortunate for the others.
Yeah, it's just part of the scoring loops, and that makes perfect sense because with these competition yellows and how the things are set up, you can't count the laps in between, or else your official lap count at the end of the night is going to be completely off. So, yeah, it goes back to the previous lap, and that was the lap restart. So everyone was bunched up, got in a wreck, and it had nothing to do but revert back to the original start. So Mr. Langston with huge sigh of relief. I think he fell back to 8th or 9th. And now he gets to restart back in second, virtue of the the laps not counting.
Yeah, so that's good move for them, I guess. But we'll see what happens on this restart. I mean, you saw what happened on the first one. Brody had such a great jump. Him and Chris both did. Brody just wants to get back out in the lead. You can tell he enjoys being out there in these cars, so he wants to get back up there. But I think the only two that won't be making their way up is the two that were in the wreck, which is Chad Lang and the 46 is Simon Magden. We'll have to see how it plays out, but I still see them in the back.
Yeah, I think they're going to be in the back, virtue of them having the caution caused. So, yeah, they'll be starting in 15th and 16th, it looks like, or at least 14th and 16th. We'll have to see when that finally finalizes. We've got 2 laps left underneath this caution. So, I'll have to give another shout-out. This time to iRacing, iFlag, the official flag partner for the Nerditudes. It's a 64 light emitting diode LED matrix system. All that means it's a 4x6 unit, 3D printed, sits on your desk, and it gives you all the commands or notifications rather that iRacing throws at you, no matter what flag is displayed, no matter what your spotter's calling, whether it's high, low, whatever he's got to say to you. It's got an image printed out on its 64 LEDs, and it tells you exactly what's going on in the race, keeps you alert. You don't have to focus on your spot. You don't have to really focus on the little flag in the top left corner that iRacing gives you. It's a pretty cool, one-of-a-kind product, and it comes at a pretty good price point. So you're going to head over to iRacingIFlag.com. You're going to use that promo code SUPERNERD once again, this time for 15% off the iRacing iFlag unit. Looks like we got one lap to go here. And Kenny, let's see if Ryan Hedrick and the 12 of Langston can get a much better restart to hang on these guys with like Brody Hannon, who has 4 fresh Goodyears.
You know, I'm hopeful that they do, but looks at that last restart. It's going to be hard to hold off those guys behind them. I'm not sure if it's the 4 tires or just the jump that they had or a combination of the both, but quite a start there for those 2 behind them. And another thing I want to mention as you were going over that, we have a car that, you know, out of the 32 camp there, Stephen Llewellyn had packet loss. So he is out of this race, no longer here in the All-Star race. So now we're back down to 15 cars tonight. So that's unfortunate there for Stephen.
And these cars self-repaired too. So like he had that in the bag essentially as far as being able to finish this race. And then internet in the digital world sometimes happens. And it's unfortunately cost Stephen Llewellyn a shot at all the glory for the Full Throttle Sim Racing All-Star race to end off 2022 season A. It is a shame we're not going to catch him the rest of the time. But you know, there's always next time, right? So maybe he'll be gearing up in these 1987 cars once again, as they might potentially be taken over for the Cup Series here soon. Don't know for sure, nothing confirmed, obviously, but rumors are swirling, including from the league admin himself. So we'll see what happens when the pace car does dip down. Will the 10 have a great restart? That being Ryan Hedrick. Will Jeff Langston have a great restart? Much needed from last time as he dropped back half the field in 2 corners. Getting tight on those old tires. We'll see what happens here. Waiting for Mr. I'm going to call him back to premature Patrick because that green flag is out so early. Green flag is out. The 10 with a pretty decent start with the 12 this time. Brody not on the back bumper of Ryan Hedrick. Looks like they're still going to be single file for the race lead and then 2x2 on the way back.
Much better start there by the 10 and the 12, but you still see Brody Hanna just power move as we see 75 going below. We might even see the 47 here, Christopher, going below him as well. Ooh, going to have a little battle here. Nicholas Casey, we got a freight train here on the outside. So far, Jeremy, it doesn't look like those 2 tires are paying off.
No, already that number 10, Ryan Hedrick, falling back to 4th place. And you got Nicholas Casey on his bottom. You know he is bad fast, picking up 8 spots through stage number 1. Does make the pass complete here, entering turn number 1. So that number 10 falls back 5 spots, and the number 12, Jeff Langston, falls back 6.
Yeah, and that, you know, we kind of were saying earlier, start part of these guys making moves. You know, Christopher up 6, Nicholas Casey up 8, Wayne Grossi, you see him, he's up 8 spots, Jeff Langston up 7 spots. So all these guys that have those strong cars are keeping it up there in this top 6 or 7. As we see these guys checking out, you got a little bit of Christopher and Brody Hanna action going on up here, as well as making a move on the inside. We see Nicholas Casey, who we mentioned has a strong car. He's trying to make the inside pass for that 3rd spot from Chuck Sweeting there.
Chuck Sweeting moves up the track a little bit. It's going to allow the 86 Nicholas Casey to secure 3rd place, and that car is on a mission. I think he might be my pick for the stage number 2. We'll have to find out here in the next 23 laps or so as these laps tick down. But side by side for the race lead, looks like Christopher wants to lead a lap tonight, and it looks like it's going to be a drag race, and he will succeed in leading 1 lap on heat race number 2.
Yeah, he was able to get around there. As you see Nicholas Casey, he's looking kind of back, going high, going low, seeing where the fast line is. As you see right now, making a nice pass here on the bottom side as the 47 there, Christopher on Brody Hanna, not being able to complete it though and clear him all the ways. Brody Hanna's going to get that run off at 2, but Christopher, strong car early.
Side by side for the race lead, and you got Richie Coy joining in the battle for a 5-car awesome battle here. And they're about to go 3 wide. Christopher with a little checkup. Brody Hanna almost tags the wall. The 86 almost tags the rear bumper of that 47 Christopher, as they had to have just basically a dead heat right now. Entering turn number 1, all going for that race lead.
Yeah, what's nice too about this, Jeremy, is, you know, all these guys up here, these, you know, it's all-star race. You're going to have pretty much winners winners of previous season. They're all going to be in here. So every single one of these guys was a winner in some sort of way to get in here. Even the guys that got in from the Open, they had to do one thing, and that was win that race. So a bunch of winners out here that's racing each other. We have a little tight battle there coming off. You see going on the inside of Chris Stouffer there. He's able to save it on the road course, bring it up the track. But he's going to lose it there, spinning across the tri-oval. Caution is out.
Caution is out.
For the second time, this time on lap number 7 of stage number 2, this time involving that number 47, Chris Stouffer, who just got loose off the corner. I almost looked like the 23 maybe had contact, but it was more so on the side panel, so it might have been some aero loose in these cars, which is kind of rare to see, but it did send him back in front of the field, and Wayne Grossi barely misses that 47.
That was close battle there, and I mean, what a save though. Took the little road course track there, getting it sideways, going through the grass a little bit, didn't come back on the track, didn't get hit, didn't hit nothing, kept it going. He's going to come down and get some fresh new Goodyears, and he'll be back at it.
Shout out in the chats here, Josh Johnson going go Ryan number 10, and then Kimberly Seligman saying go 86. So we have a cheerleader for almost every driver out here so far. So keep on bringing on the chats, guys. We'd love to shout you guys out, no matter what service you're watching it from, Twitch, YouTube, or Facebook. It's all going to get brought into our feed, and we're going to see it. So please make sure to interact with us. Looks like you got some nice little cheerleading action going on the chats. Love to see it.
Yeah, great runs too by those guys. And we just saw Ryan leading the way there on that last restart. And then we got everyone dipping down. Well, no, we got some fakers and some takers there. That's going to put still Brody out in front. But Nicholas Casey now, as we just mentioned, he's going to put him in second with Richie Coy sitting third. Jeremy, that's the highest we've seen Richie tonight.
I like Chuck Sweeting's call. You're only 7 laps in. You have, quite a few more laps to go before this thing's over in stage number 2. And risk it all, man. Your tires are going to be 7 laps newer, and with these cars, it's a big difference. You saw in just 25 laps how the 12 and the 10 just fell back. They couldn't do anything. So tires mean a lot. And so Chuck Sweeting, I think, in my book, has made the right call.
Yeah, that I thought everyone was going to go down with him. They looked like the whole pack was going to go right behind him, and then you just had some just kind of swerve out and fake it out. But I think we had 6. Yeah, it looks like 6 of them stayed out here on those 7 older tires, and everyone's going to come on out. I don't think Chuck got out first, actually. I see, looks like I have to check and see who that is. Yeah, coming out first, I think it's the 14 there, Stephen Allen, I believe. He came out first on those pit stops. We see Chuck right there in the background. So great call, though, as you mentioned.
Yeah, you were correct. Stephen Allen, definitely number 1 coming out of the pit stall. So he's going to be the first car, rather, on the fresh to 4 set Goodyears. That's going to restart him in 7th place. And there's one guy that's cringing right now. It's probably Chris Stover in that 47. Did not pit after that spin, and now he is the last car in line on old tires, and right behind him, everyone in his mirror have 4 fresh sets of Goodyears.
I'm really surprised he didn't come down pit road after that. I mean, he was in the back, so maybe he's just trying to. He didn't think he lost too much there. I know he went through the grass, but he definitely was sliding it when it wasn't grass. So we'll see how that pays off for him. Maybe he's just trying to get some track position back and hold off until the 3rd segment here. So we'll see how it plays out there, Jeremy. Like I said, it's only 7 old tires, but he did slide a little bit.
I'm going to do another shout out this time to the Butt Kicker, the official audio enhancement provider for the Nerditudes. It's made by a company called Watmer Company. Offers innovative hardware and software designed to give passionate gamers a deeper level of gaming immersion. The Gamer 2 unit, which is the standard in sim racing immersion, giving the racers a haptic transducer, which easily attaches to any center post, chair, or sim racing rigs. This product will give any sim racer that much needed, quote, feel, end quote, from the car that drivers really need to perform at their peak performance. You're going to see their entire product line at www.thebuttkicker.com. Make sure to use our promo code. We always got a code for you guys, NerdTV, for 20% off anything you purchase, including that Gamer 2 unit. You got about a lap left, Kenny. 23 is going to be starting first place, and that 86 going to be starting in second. What does he have for Brody Hanna?
I'm excited to see those two go at it. We saw Brody kind of just dominating this, start of the race. I mean, he wasn't pulling away, but he's just been up front this whole race. But Nicholas Casey, he's just been on a charge. He's been moving his way up through the field, picking them off one by one. We know he's strong. We know he can make it up there. We know he can even take the lead and hold on to it. So it'll be nice to see these two going at it. But we also got Richie Coy and Wayne Grossi up here as well.
Yeah, it's the first time we're really seeing Wayne Grossi crack the top 5 and that number 7 Black Copenhagen Chevrolet. Let's see what he can do while he's sitting there in 4th place. And to his inside, Richie Coy, who's finally made his way there, playing the patience game. He's gotten loose a couple times, hasn't made any contact with anybody, and he's finding that Valvoline Ford Thunderbird in 3rd place.
Yeah, I want to see what he can do when he gets up here with these guys. That's kind of towards the front, open air a little bit. See if he can open it up a little bit more than he has been. A couple other ones too. Chuck Sweeting, as you mentioned, sitting in the back. He's one to keep an eye on. Ryan Hedrick, he's another one to keep an eye on. So we still got plenty of time in this race. So we're not even halfway through this thing. We got the second segment, not even halfway through that one. So plenty more time, and not much time, but plenty more.
Yeah, you can still play that strategy. We have another set of 25 laps after the conclusion of these 18 are over. And then we have 10 more to finalize everything to be the king at the full Throttle Sim Racing League.
And $25 iRacing credit.
That's also a great prize to have too. $25 in real money, and an iRacing isn't cheap. So that's definitely something these drivers are looking forward to. Brody Hand's going to be leading the start here. Waiting for that green flag from Mr. Premature Patrick.
Green.
Green flag officially in the sky. 23 with a great launch here. 86 got caught sleeping. Wayne Grossi right behind him gives a little nudge saying, hey, go. But Richie Coy in that 19 Valvoline is going to be taking over 2nd place potentially. Nope. Casey with an excellent run as we've seen before from him tonight on that top side, just kind of holding them off.
Yeah, that top side's got, if you can get that momentum run on the top side, you'll be able to get a great run going down into the corner here. As we see, he's going to make a look on the inside of Brody Hanna, right on the back bumper. He's going to look on the inside, keeping it close. He's going on the apron. Woo, this is close racing here between these 3 German.
Oh my, these guys are just within a paper width of each other. Just a sheet of paper from the 23 and 86, and then the 19 barely just cleared the right rear bumper of Nicholas Casey. But now they're back to being side by side, just like they were 1 lap previous. That 19 in the wall a little bit there doesn't really slow him down though. So no harm, no foul there. The 47 dips down a little for Christopher, trying to take an advantage there. There's that 75 already in the side of the top 5. Mr. Chuck Sweeting on those 4 tires, and it's already making a point that fresh tires are king.
Yeah, I think that kind of ruled out the strategy as far as taking 2 of the 4 tires. Definitely want to take we see car sideways here. The 14 is able to hold on to it. 12's going to the outside. I think we got a little contact there from the 4 as well. So 14's trying to hold on, and they're fine where they just hit the inside wall, those 2.
14, Stephen Allen, number 4, Chad Lang, both involved in a wreck that has not brought out the caution. So these 2 guys need to get it regrouped rather, and just trying to hang on and stay on the lead lap before the next set of the competition yellow comes out.
51 also.
Before, but yeah, 51 as well. So 3 cars in total really involved in this thing. Unfortunate to see.
Yeah, he just looks like he lost it coming off of 4 there, went on the inside, barely hit that inside wall right in front of pit road there. Bounced off, and they can keep going here though. We got 3 wide here, Jeremy's. We're going to turn 3 and 4, still holding it 3 wide. Look at this battle here. This is amazing racing.
Just slight contact up there some more. Man, they were so close. That was some excellent side-by-side racing. All 3 pinched down the lower half of the track, but just not enough room. 75 and 86 go around. Caution is out this time on lap 37.
Hey, this is what the All-Star race is about, though. This good racing like this side-by-side. And, got the caution, a couple more stages. Where damage is going to repair itself. No big deal. We've seen them come through the field before. But, hey, this is going to kind of revert back, too, because it doesn't count caution. So we'll see where this thing going to line up after this, after the positions reset.
Yeah, we'll see. But so my storyline on that one is Chuck Sweeting, with 7 laps into the stage, comes in, takes 4 tires, works his way all the way back up inside the top 5, trying to compete 3 wide, which he can grip the bottom, makes contact and spins. So if he comes down pit road for another set of tires, You know, we're going to see within 13 laps if he can re-go through the field all over again and maybe crack himself in the top 3.
Almost had a little accident here as everyone was checking it for the pace car. I don't think they were expecting it to be there so soon, but duck down. Here comes the 14. He's coming in hot as well, so he was able to lock it down. I think they can do it though. I think they can make their way back through the field, Jeremy. We've seen it a couple times already, especially from Nicholas Casey. So I don't expect anything different from him. We're seeing a little fake there from Brody. Oh, I don't think anyone's gonna come down. We're gonna see the guys that just wrecked. You know, that was good too. They mentioned the four, the 51, and I believe the 14. All three of those kind of got perfect timing on that yellow flag since they had spun just that lap before.
Absolutely, yeah. So they're going to get their tires redone, and they're going to be bad fast as they're going to have much fresher tires than everybody else in front. Tony Solari did lead down this field for pit stops. Looks about 5 total cars. Getting some 4 fresh set of Goodyear tires, and only being 13 laps left in this stint, I think this is gonna really prove how well these tires really mean to these drivers, considering that run that Chuck Sweeting had.
Yeah, we're gonna have 13 laps to go once we hit this restart of this second segment. And I don't know, Jeremy. I'm gonna see how, like you said, we're basically halfway through the segment, so we'll see how these tires pay off from having a half a run on them to fresh 4. See how much room they can make up. I mean, we have 8 or 9, I think 9 out there right now. That's gonna be the difference from the 4 fresh tires to the 4 slightly used tires. So we'll see how this plays out.
On the chats, Gregory Valati says, "Let's go, Nicholas, number 86 with 2 Rockstar hands." And then also John Farmer with a big wow in the comments. And I would say that's wow for that 3-wide racing that we just saw. Minus the contact, obviously. That was some excellent driving by those 3 guys.
Yeah, it was close. I was hoping they'd get out of that thing and keep it going down the front stretch, but as you mentioned, just kind of on the lower side of the track there and just got a little bit too close. And Chuck tried holding it down. He had the grip on it, but just got a little bit too low and kind of drifted up a little harder than he was expected and took both of them out. But no harm, no foul. It's All-Star race. This is entertainment. This is fun. Expedition race, $25 credit, so go for broke.
You know, $25 is, I would definitely be looking to put myself in a running spot with $25 for iRacing credits to prolong my service. That's only about 3 months worth if you, buy it 3 months at a time. So,
it might
decent
be
chunk of change.
It's only $999 and $975,000 less than what Ryan got last night. But hey, anything counts.
A lot of money. 4 minus 3 plus 1 equals what? Quick maths. If you watched the All-Star race in real life last night, Mr. Ryan Blaney with his first W of the season, non-points, doesn't lock him in, but he won it after pulling down the window net prematurely. So, great race by him. But this race is looking just as nice, if not even more fun to watch than that last night's race. And what better way for these drivers to stay focused? They're about halfway done through this race right now. So these guys really need to crack a can open from our partners at Nerd Focus. You're going to use Super Nerd at checkout for 10% off their 2 flavors. On your left side of that ad, you're going to see the blue text. That's your sugar-free. And then on the right, of course, is your standard regular sugar drink. Both amazing flavor, really smooth, easy to drink. Not super carbonated like some of these other ones. And you're going to stay focused for hours on end, keeping up to whatever you're doing in the real world. And you're going to go to nerdfocus.com. Once again, Super Nerd at checkout for 10% off their drinks.
I'm ready to get this thing going again. This is exciting racing when we have it going. I wish these caution laps were just a couple, not... cut them in half a little bit.
I was thinking these laps are a little bit longer, and admins do have the call to shorten up laps if you want to, just saying. But, these guys are, especially with no laps, or the laps not counting, rather. Like, it's just literally just sitting there and growing time. And these guys, I know we're anxious to see some awesome racing side by side, 3 wide like they've been doing. But, these guys are really wanting to get going. They're won that $25. They want to show who's king here. So I'm sure as much anxiety as I have going on, they have more.
Oh, absolutely, and they're ready to get it going. And I mean, they're close halfway through this second segment, so they want to see where they kind of stack up after this. And I still think people are kind of playing this tire runs here before we get to this last 10 laps because that's where the money is.
Yeah, I'm going to say keep your eye out on the back half of that field, that 14, that 75. Those guys with the 4 fresh set of tires, they're going to be the ones to watch before that checker flag falls to end stage number 2. But green flag is out. The 19 with an excellent start over Brody Hanna. Let's see if they make him give that spot back because he did beat the 23 to the line that time. But Wayne Grossi there in that number 7 is going to follow suit, making a hard charge here on top of the 47.
I think Richie caught Brody sleeping on that one and just had a great start. Either way, Brody's going to be able to get it back by here, but Richie's got that preferred spot unless you have Nicholas Casey behind you because we know how much you love that inside. But with these two, you got 2 teammates. That's all off here in the All-Star race. It's all about getting that 25. So Richie Coy, though, first time we're seeing him out front, Jeremy. He's going to be coming off of 4 with that lead.
Yeah, no teamwork here.
Hard in the wall, 12 car.
Uh-oh, 12 in the wall. We'll see if it brings out a caution. Does not look like so at this point. Yep, he's getting his cars repaired, though, so it's going to be fine, it looks like, and it is fully repaired there. Yeah, that's Jeff Langston with another trouble. Getting off turn number 4, slaps the wall once, shoots up the track, and nails it again. And that kink on the front stretch. Bad luck for that number 12.
Yeah, we see the 7. Wayne Grossi's trying to make a move here on the inside of the 47 for that 3rd position. Not going to be able to complete the pass. Christopher's going to be able to get back by, but Christopher's trying to make a move here on Brody Hanna as well, as Brody's trying to fight off Richie Coy. So, again, great side-by-side racing in these cars.
Christopher really wants to get out there and just lead a lap solely by himself because his car is really fast. Richie Coy, though, putting on that excellent pressure, kind of blocking the lane. So the 47, Christopher, has to play the patience game. He has to wait and find that line. Right now, he's going to look like he's going to try to help that 19 get around the 23. Looks like it's done so this time around. New leader, 19, Richie Coy.
You see Richie Coy come down just in front of Brody Hanna. That's going to give the 47 to Christopher that outside lane, which, we got another car here spinning on the front stretch. I believe is that the 75 of Chuck Sweeting? Yes, it is. He's going to spin around no caution as well. Bad news, good news. 9 more laps. We'll have the second segment so he can get back going again. But looking back towards the leaders here, Christopher still trying to make that pass on Brody Hanna.
Number 4, Chad Lang didn't realize that the 75's nose was still there. Came across his nose and it sent the 75 spinning through the infield. But great driving by the 75 to keep it off any car or wall. Kept it going straight, no problem. He's going to have to regroup for the final 25-lap stage. So that number 75 now resides in 14th.
Still having a great battle here up for the lead. Even behind him. I mean, look at that coming off the turn. You just got everyone right there ready to pounce. You got a couple little groups racing side by side there in the back. See Nicholas Casey looking for spots, going high, going low, right behind the 4 car there, Chad Lang. So he's already trying to make his way back up to the top, Jeremy. Oh, we got to have a little contact here.
Oh, here we go. 46 heavy into the wall right in front. The 32, or a.k.a. the 15, Andrew Palicki. He's around. Still no caution. His 2 cars spin out in front of some guys. Little questionable. Let's see if iRacing doesn't throw the caution, but 2 cars heavy into the wall. But once again, they're going to be saved by that chameleon-like status where the cars repair themselves. But it's going to have them reset for the final 25-lap stage.
I think they're okay with that, too, as far as them not throwing a caution because they're trying to get through to this next segment anyways. And like you said, they're all getting repaired. So get some green flag laps going on this as we got side-by-side racing between these 4 cars. We got 2 on the low side. Brody Hanna lost 2 spots there as he's sitting on the low side. We'll see if he jumps up to the outside and starts making a little run there. But Wayne's all over the back of him as well.
Are you kidding me? These cars are producing some awesome racing no matter where we're watching, whether it be the top spot, whether it be for 5th or 10th. Does not matter. These things are just cranking out some awesome runs here. Looks like Wayne Grossi really trying to point his car low. I think he's finally settled in. He got those tires warmed up for a final little 5-lap stint here, as he is now side by side with your pole sitter, Mr. Brody Hanna.
And Christopher, Jeremy, he's trying to, like you mentioned earlier, boot a lap all by himself. He's battling Richie Coy here on the inside as Richie's going to try and get that outside momentum, and Brody Hanna jumping up to the outside with him. Side by side for, you can throw a blanket over these top 4s. You're going to see this great run here by Richie Coy on the outside.
Yeah, side by side, Christopher really wants to crack open that lead all by himself, and he's trying hard here. Throws it deep into turn number 3. A little bit of a slide, cannot get it to grip. That's going to allow that 19 to really get a great launch off of turn number 4, and does so, and he's going to bring his teammate in that 23 right behind him.
Yeah, that outside is we saw it on Wednesday. That was the preferred line. So it's still doing it again tonight. But get a great run in. We see it all the time. You have a great run in on the entry, but that run off the corner there is just going to eat you up on when you're on the outside compared to the inside. Vice versa.
You have to really slow up your entry in turn number 3 to make turn number 4 happen for you. Or else you're just going to check up, feel tight, and you're going to have to give it up. That 47 actually does it really well this time around, as he's going to remain side by side on that 19. Going across the line, the 19 just has it by a nose with 4 laps to go in stage number 2.
I mean, these guys are inches away from each other. Great battle between these two, between the 19 of Richie Coy and the 47 here of Christopher in that chromed out Goodyear Chevy. Just that outside momentum, Jeremy. Richie's just got it. He's carrying it so much there, which is nice, and it's getting him across the line just in time, but you don't want to bank on that. So we'll see how it kind of plays out as this race goes on, but great side-by-side as they're coming off of turn 4 here.
Yeah, you're just seeing a consistent free-floating cam from the outside door panel, the number 47, Christopher.
Caution's out.
Looking onto the 19, and yes, caution is out with 3 laps to go on the stage. This time, Tony Solari in the number 11 gets involved with the number 12, Jeff Langston, and the number 18 of Brian Bliss. 3 cars having a little solo domino effect here, exiting turn number 4 for the 4th green flag caution today.
Yeah, we saw the 12 there of Jeff Langston get a little whisk on off the corner. 18 checked up, and then the 11 was right there just against the back of him. So you'll see right here on their TV, as soon as he comes around, gets in the back of him, he comes around, and just an accordion effect, like you mentioned, everyone's sliding there after that. And that was enough for iRacing to throw the caution on this one.
Yeah, it's a shame you have 3 cars sliding up in the middle of the track with other people oncoming. You just have to throw that yellow, and that's going to stack them up for a little 3-lap shootout here. Actually, I think 2-lap shootout once they take the green flag to settle the stage number 2.
So what do you do here, Jeremy? We saw yesterday if you won one of the segments, you got the start up in the top 4. Well, that's not the case here tonight. So are you going to pit with just 2 laps left in this segment and be ready for that 3rd one? Or are you going to stay out and try to win this segment? I don't know if there's that much of a reward, as far as staying out compared to coming in, but to win the segment. But we'll see what these guys choose.
You pit. You definitely got to pit because you're right next to the stage end. You just have to pit. And there they come. Most of them do agree with me. 18, Brian Bliss, one of the guys involved in that wreck, stays out. So he's going to line up behind the number 14 here who also stayed out. So it looks like 2 people have stayed out, being the number 14, Steven Allen, and number 18, Brian Bliss. And they're going to duke it out for the stage end. But there's no reward points for winning the stage, just all bragging rights, I guess. So we'll see how this strategy plays for him.
Well, we saw how it worked out from the difference from 2 to 4 tires. So difference of 4 to, some used 4 tires is going to be a big difference. So just a 2-lap shootout on this next segment. So we're going to see, is that Chuck Sweeting? Yep, Chuck Sweeting got off pit road first, Jeremy. So that's going to put him in 3rd. He might be in the best position here on this restart to kind of get a hold of this segment win and start the 3rd segment out in the lead.
And if we can, since we're just over halfway and we're under caution, I'd like to do a quick little side-by-side action here to give some visual thank yous to all of our sponsors. So we'll be back with you guys in just a few short minutes.
Are you ready to chase the moonlight? Community-based and talent-driven, Moonlight Speed Concepts has what you need to take your iRacing experience to the next level. Founded by passionate owners that care about the community and housing some of the top setup builders and drivers on the platform, Moonlight Speed Concepts offers custom paints, driver coaching, and setups for dirt, asphalt short track racing, and eNASCAR competition. Partnered with top brands in both real world and simulation. Follow us on Facebook or visit moonlightspeed.com and find out why these businesses chase the moonlight and why you should too. Moonlight Speed Concept, where all we chase is moonlight.
Coverage of Nerd TV, bringing you the stage 3 and stage number 4 to conclude the full Throttle Sim Racing All-Star race here at Charlotte and these amazing 1987 Cup Series cars. If you've been tuned in this entire time, you've seen some awesome racing, 2 wide, 3 wide, and it's about to get crazier as the laps have wound down. Pace car is down, ready for the green flag to come out. Stephen Allen at number 14, leading the charge with no tires, 18 as well. Just involved in that wreck, is going to take the restart in second place. And then Chuck Sweeting with, I think, 2 tires, is going to be starting in third. It's great to see him up there, Kenny, because he's been involved in quite a few incidents tonight.
Yeah, especially that last probably 5 laps prior to this. He was in that one incident, and then he had someone, I think, got caught up in the next one. That was the lap after that, wasn't even in it. Woo, little bit of contact there between Brody Hanna and Christopher there on the backstretch. Both got a little side. Oh, we see the 14 here sideways. Going to go in the wall a little bit, but he's able to hold on. Oh, no, he's not.
Oh, no, it's a big crash here, and this is the last 2 laps of stage number 2, and oh my, huge crash. Tony Solari is going to need the ambulance. These cars instantly repair, though, but man, Tony Solari just destroyed the tire barriers, or the water barrels, rather, there on the entrance of pit road, gets it cleared up, but huge crash to almost end stage 2.
Yeah, that was a big wreck there, and unfortunately it started up with the front there. I saw the 14 of Stephen Allen. Was those older tires, Jeremy just couldn't hold it up there as much as he thought he could, and wasn't able to hold on to it. He almost saved it there, but he got onto the wall and then came down, and just everyone piled right into him.
Yeah, there are so many angles to cover. What camera angles do you choose? Dustin has a great job right now, great responsibility to produce some of this action. And it's just cars just piled up everywhere. The number 7, Wayne Grossi, also hitting the water barrels, destroyed them. The 19, I think he lost both of his front wheels. The 12 destroys it with his right front. Just tires flying everywhere, bumpers flying everywhere.
And then all of a sudden, bam, back to normal. You saw Tony, though. I was wondering if Tony was going to be able to get off the water barrels or not. And he was throwing that thing in reverse gear, and he was finally able to get off of it. So that worked out for him. But unfortunately for these guys, too, that wasn't the end of this stage. It's going to be, I believe, just a 1-lap shootout, or is it going to go back to 2? I'm not sure. It's showing 49. So I think it's just going to be a 1-lap shootout in this segment.
Yeah, it'll be coming out the green flag. When they cross that line, it'll be lap 50. It should be 1 lap left. Let's see if they can get him cleared. But man, all that takes, that wreck, just one guy getting loose. That being the number 14. That's all it took. Him and the 18 get bumper to bumper, actually. And that's all it takes. When you got these guys grouped up in these 87 cars, they're not so grippy. And you just kind of have to follow suit. And huge wreck. You see another angle here from the number 7. Tires already flying off the car. Wayne Grossi gets hit from the right side, and you see these 2 guys just boom, and then there's Solari. Oh man,
Tony it was like a launch pad. He was like he was trying to ramp over those water barrels and just right into them.
That's huge. So many cars, but like you said, poof, cars fixed. So see another angle here, this time on Chad Lang's onboard. Runs into the 10 there. You see the 23 and the 18 to the outside of the 19. And The 47 Christopher just barely misses, and then looks like Ross Chastain here in this Budweiser car going over the left-hand side of wannabe Kyle Busch, and looks like he just gets carried through this infield here. He looks like he's doing a wheelie.
Wah, bah, bah, bah. Oh,
Yeah, he
yes.
did get carried.
All right. Well, that would be why right there. I mean, what a great combination that you have out here, though. I mean, you got a little bit of Budweiser with a little bit of Hooters Wings, Valvoline Mac Tools to clean it all up. You can probably get all that at Menards if you want to. So, with all these sponsors out here, they all just kind of come together in one place.
I don't know what kind of camera angle he's producing right now, but if we can get maybe Brian Bliss's helmet camera and look left, I would love to see what that looks like. And here we go. Hard hit there at 23. And then, oh, look at that bright red chassis. Hello, how's it going? Just carries him all the way across the finish line on two wheels.
And then right back to normal. No big deal. Let's keep it rolling. Gotta love it. This restart, Jeremy, just a one lap shootout. And I think that's going to put, I want to say it's going to, well, I don't know who it's going to put on the lead. Let's see. Let me go back through the field. I think that Chuck Sweeting is going to be actually starting up front here with the 47 of Christopher on the outside. So we know those two cars are strong. I think Chuck might be able to, he's got a quick couple laps of what we've seen tonight. So he might have that power to take that one lap and take segment 2 home.
Chuck Sweeting, I think he's in the best place. You're in first. I think he's on 2 tires. We'll have to see how that prevails for him. I think this is his first time doing a 2-tire strategy. Just trying everything, you got to get the job done. And it's basically a practice session trying to do it on 2 tires. So let's see if he can do that before, they finish up one more lap to finally in stage number 2. I kind of pre-called that coming back from commercial break. But this will be the final lap.
Yeah, get around here one more time. Finish this last segment, get into the third and final 25-run segment to lead us into the final segment, 10-lap showdown. We've been doing a lot of 10-lap showdowns kind of throughout this race so far with these cautions that we've had. So everyone's kind of getting a good feel of what they need to do, what tires they need to put on there, how they need to run these last 10 laps, what their 10-lap run looks like. So I'm really excited for that last segment, Jeremy, because everyone's kind of getting amped up for it.
Yeah, you're not wrong. And you're correct, too, as far as the 10-lap shootouts with how the caution, especially in stage number 2 of how they've fallen, kind of gives you right at that 10-lap feel. So we've seen Chuck Sweeting go from the back to the front. Right now he's currently sitting in first place on 2 tires. So 4 tires at the moment seems to be what you want almost every pit stop. We'll see what happens in one more lap to end the stage. Green flag is out. Great start by the 75 and 47. Looks like the 15 Andrew Plicky caught a little sleeping there, but the 18 Brian Bliss showing some good steam on that restart, clears out for third.
Yeah, Chuck Sweeting's trying to hold out on the bottom side. You see Christopher trying to make the pass on the outside. Christopher does have that preferred outside lane that's been up there all night. That's kind of where that momentum has been in the speed. As we see, he's got a great run coming off of 2 as they're heading down into 3 and 4. See if Christopher can hold on and take this segment 2 over Chuck Sweeting.
Chuck Sweeting trying everything he can draft-wise to maintain, but it's just not going to be enough. Christopher on that preferred lane on the top comes across the line, and he's going to be the winner of stage number 2.
All right, man. Caution is out. Caution is out.
Yeah, Rise came across the line there. Quick to throw the caution, so we got competition caution here on lap 50. That's going to be segment 2 winner there, Christopher. Great run. We'll see where these guys do as far as pit stops go. We know, I believe both those had 2 tires. We'll see. Got one more segment, Jeremy, of 25 laps, and then we're going to end with that 10-lap shootout we just mentioned.
So my predictions right now for the stage number 3, after kind of evaluating everything, that 86 kind of followed off a little bit. I know he got involved in some wrecks, but it didn't look like he had the speed to work his way back up through the front like we saw early on. So the track conditions have cooled off just a little bit. I think the grip levels have changed slightly, and it's kind of favoring some of these guys. Christopher's looking super strong. This is the highest we've seen the 18 Brian Bliss, be out here, and he's going to come down pit road with a bunch of guys. So these guys are looking pretty fast right now.
Yeah, it's you see a couple of guys coming down pit road here. I think when that caution came out, Jimmy, I think they threw it a little quick and kind of threw off a little bit yeah, it looks like they messed up on the scoring there by throwing that caution so quick as they came across the line, put Chuck in first instead of Chris, and then I think the 11 jumped ahead of the 7 and flip-flop, but luckily it's just a segment change, but I think it got thrown just a little too quick there. But anyways, we're going to see Chuck Sweeting here on pit road. He's going to be able to get 4 fresh tires and get back out there and make his way from the back to the front again.
Yeah, I didn't see exactly when the caution laps came out, but we talked about this earlier. When the caution comes out, if it's before the line, there is no scoring loop when they don't count laps under caution. It goes back to the complete lap prior. In that case, Chuck Sweeting was your leader. So, virtue of that number 75 is going to be starting in first place on this start.
Well, he came down pit road, so I think that's going to kind of cancel that out. We'll see what plays out, but I think that put him in first there before he came down pit road. Yeah, it looks like he's sitting in the back, so I think that kind of settled out. I put Christopher back to where he finished that segment in first place, and that'll put the 32, but I believe that's going to be the actual 15 on the scoring of Andrew Palicki in second place, Jeremy. That's the first time we see him running the top 3 tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. That 30 or 15, 32 on your screen, 15 on the scoreboard. First time we've seen him really inside the top 5 in second place right now, putting himself in a good spot. But you are correct. I was trying to recap and try to review that 75 caution, and I did not realize he came down for pit road for 4 tires. So, yeah, it kind of settles that question out. It will put your correct leader, Christopher, on the point heading into this third segment.
Yeah, it's kind of, it's the All-Star race. It's a little all over the place all the time. So we saw it last night with all the controversy that was going on. So, but no harm, no foul. Still going to have him starting out in front. Third segment's going. And once this thing ends, we don't have to worry about that because it's literally once it gets to the lap 85, it's going to be done. There's no caution thrown. The race is over. So that's when it really counts. That's when you really want to be leading the race is on lap 85. So that's when you take home the 25 iRacing credits.
And there's no iRace or a NASCAR official to throw out a fake caution to set these guys up for a 2-lap shootout. So, that's going to be all in the driver's hands here. This is the last segment. 10 laps is not really too much of a time, so you really want to get yourself within the top 5 to kind of secure a good starting position entering that final 10-lap stage. Quick shout out as well to Moonlight Speed Concepts. Head over to moonlightspeed.com if you're looking for some professional grade-like setups on asphalt oval from the late model series all the way up to the NASCAR Cup series and everything in between. And they're great price points for the professional setups built, and they're updating these weekly, sometimes 2 to 3 times a week, depending on if they find changes that is necessary to get those W's. You're going to follow them on Twitter, or you can join their Discord. Excellent group of guys to talk to. And you're going to go to www.moonlightspeed.com.
All right, Jeremy, looks like we're going to be going one more lap around here and then be restarting this third segment, get that one underway. 35 laps left in this race, 25 laps left in this third segment. Who do you got winning this one?
The speed of these guys keep changing. I mentioned 86, and he's kind of tapered off a little bit. 75 is always fast. I expect him to come up, maybe crack the top 5, maybe top 3. I'm keeping my eye on that 47, though, Christopher. That car, him and Brody Hanna have been consistently inside this top 5 this entire race once they have gotten there. And, it's going to be the battle between the Monte Carlo versus the Underbird. I think, in my book, in Dustin's playbook, too, and Mr. Loxton on our production booth side, calling for that number 23 to be up there for the win of stage number 3.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with your prediction on the last one. I'm going to go with Nicholas Casey. He was running up front to that last caution, so that's who I got on this last segment.
Let's see if he can get back up there and get the job done, but the green flag is out here. The 47 leading the point. The 32, or actually the 15, Andrew Palicki, does a great restart. They're basically side-by-side completely. A little bit of a scramble there in the back. Looks like they get it sorted out. 47 is going to come out on top here, and Brody Hammond is looking down low on Andrew Palicki.
Yeah, big checkup on the back there. Chuck Sweeting is one of the fast cars in the night. That one checked up. Wayne Grossi checked up. Nicholas Casey, so all those guys are further back. But great racing up here in the front as we see Christopher still leading the way, but right behind him, Brody Hanna, Andrew Palicki right there. And they look at, he got the 4-car, Jeff Langston. We know he's got speed. We saw him in the All-Star Open. As they get into a little contact there, as he gets into the wall of Andrew Palicki, but keep that thing going, keep it repaired. Let's chug it along, right along.
Yep, definitely dropped him back to the tail of the field almost, but looks like there's almost a little 3-wide action going on. Chad Lang,
All right,
it's
man,
a little
caution
loose
is
there,
out.
and actually there's a
Caution is
caution
out.
on the raceway right now. Once
Brody
again,
Hanna,
involving
hard.
the 15 Andrew Palicki for the second time this lap, just crushing the 23 of Brody Hanna as he was winding down his spin, and Tony Solari also involved.
Yeah, that was the 4 there. Looks like if Chad Lang had a great run, just got into Brody Hanna just a little too much, and then Stephen Allen just went ahead and sent Brody right into the outside wall here, as you see. We'll see up here right ahead. There goes Brody, boop, right into the wall.
Actually, the 12 Jeff Langston as well gets involved in the 14 of Mr. Allen. It's actually collected more people than what I thought. Looks like 5 cars in total have damage from this wreck, including the guy that I said right before the green flag, 23 Brody Hanna, who's been up in the top 5 all race long. Now he's got to find himself fighting through traffic to get back to where he was.
Gonna make some excitement here though in this last segment, Jeremy. You're gonna have Brody Hanna in the back, Nicholas Casey in the back, Wayne Grossi, Chuck Sweeting. I mean, we've seen those guys running top 5 all night, so to make your way through the field this final segment, that now's the time, because you want to be up there. You want to be running top 5, top 6 when the last 10 laps drop. So this is the segment that you want to get up to the front, and you want to stay up there if you can.
Yeah, and we have to push the issue just a little bit more. Your damage gets repaired. You're on a short amount of laps. You have another competition caution coming up. So, these guys are trying everything they can. Sometimes they go a little over the edge, especially when they're not used to running these cars. They don't run these cars other than just like these one-off events. So they're not fully accustomed to them like they were the Cup car. And that's why we're on our 6th racing caution this evening. 8 total. You see 8 on the board. That's because of the 2 comp yellows. So 6 total wrecking yellows. But they're picking up the more this race gets down, because they're trying to get themselves into position.
Yeah, and while we're under caution, Jeremy, mentioned it earlier in the race, and I'll bring it up again. We're having a new season over here at Full Throttle Sim Racing. That's going to be starting actually Wednesday. We're going to have the trucks starting up, first race of the season, and then we're going to have the Menards series on Thursday now. That's switched up a little bit. Then you have the Super Trucks and the Lotus. Those are on Saturday. Then your Cup series back up on Monday. So get registered if you want to join any of those up. Registration is open right now. If you're trying to do something, if you don't feel like paying, they have an entry. ARCA, Super Trucks, Lotus, those, free to play. The trucks and the Cup, those are, you're going to have to pay to get in on those, but they also offer some payouts. So head on over to fullthrottlesimracing.net and go register.
Yeah, that crazy series that these guys came up with on Saturday with the Lotus 79s and the Pro 4 dirt trucks alternating weeks. Who would have thought of those 2 cars as a combination?
I'm excited to watch it. I like the Super Trucks, but then, the Lotus, that just switches the ball game. So you're going from one extreme to the other. Good thing it's, a week in between the practice. But that's going to be a fun series to get into. And one I might jump in, Jeremy, every Saturday.
It's quite tempting. And I think my schedule is actually open. So not a bad idea. And I want all you guys watching to participate too. So as Kenny said, sign up. This is off season. We're almost starting on Wednesday. So if you're looking to be a part of a point system with some awesome drivers, this is the place to go. So make sure to sign up.
Let me check my schedule. It just opened up. I'll be there. Yeah, Wednesday though, Charlotte will be back here. Wednesday night, 134 laps in the truck series at Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Charlotte 200. It starts at 9 o'clock. So stay tuned.
That's really convenient that your schedule just opened up, huh?
Yeah, just looked at it, just opened up. Look at that.
What's that Harry Potter spell that they use to open books up?
That's all you.
I don't know. I was hoping someone would have that answer. Maybe our producer can key me in on that one. But Um, you know, I'm going to try to be there. I think it's going to be a great combination. One of a kind, really, too. Like, if you want to try something out of the box, that's how you do it. That's how you mix it up. You just put a bunch of cars into a can, close the lid, you shake it up, pull 2 cars out, and go, hey, this is what we're driving. So, basically what it feels like. But it looks like we have 1 lap to go to get lap number 3 started out of these 25 laps on segment number 3. And some things mixed up. Your pick, the 86, halfway, through the field in 2 laps, virtue of everyone else wrecking and taking tires. So he's sitting there in 8th place, who we started, I think, 14th prior. My pick's still up front, and Dustin's pick, he's got some work to do, Mr. Dustin. That Underbird's got to pass a bunch of cars, but I think he's got the talent and the ability to do so.
I think so too. We barely got 2 laps down on this first segment, 1 lap, I think, maybe. So plenty of time still left in the books here. Again, great looking cars. I mean, look at that. It's just sitting there on the track as we go by here. All the way from the top. And, as much as I enjoy that Earnhardt Sr. Wrangler skin, I'm glad we only have 1 out here, because I think every time I race in an open server, there's more than half the field with that car, so it's hard to figure out who's who. But it's nice to see we got just the 1 out here tonight.
Yeah, it's the most popular driver of all of NASCAR, so that's almost expected.
Green
flag is out. Christopher leads the way with a pretty decent start over Jeff Langston in that 12. 19, Richie Coy is going to follow, try to get to the inside of Langston, entering turn number 1. Let's see if they can get through this lap nice and clean. So far, everything looks good. A lot of side-by-side action still, especially in the back here with Brody Hannon. We got the 4 Chad Lang. They're all, nose to tail, 4 a little bit of a block there. It almost looked like these guys are they're showing that speed, trying to get to the front.
Yeah, Chuck Sweetie made a great move to go to the inside there of the 10 of Ryan Hedrick. He's going to take that spot over. Thinking a great. Ooh, you see a little car in the back. I think that's Andrew Palicki that hit the outside wall, but fix that one up real quick. Keep going. But Christopher still leading the way. Richie Coy looking on the inside, or looking behind him, see if he can close the gap. But great battles here right behind him, side by side racing.
Yeah, good battles here. We got looks like 3rd and 4th side by side, and then 5th and 6th also side by side. Chuck Sweeting on the inside with Simon Magden trying to get that inside rolling, but it's hard. That high side is definitely preferred with these cars. It's just you get really pinched off and really tight there on the bottom, so you can't really. It's really hard to get a good solid run off the corner on these things. You see the 75 maybe wanting to shift up top, thinks twice of it. Nope, 10 there. Brian Hedrick looking to maybe take that spot from him.
Yeah, great. You see the 86 back. Ooh, got the 4 car sitting there going a little low there off of turn 2. Great save by him to keep it going. Didn't come up the track or put the inside wall. So, we go right in front of him, a little sideways as well. Going to have a little action back in the back here. I think it's Angel Palicki again who's getting sideways there as they're coming off of 4.
3rd incident really for that number 15. That car is just all over the place. He's got to regroup
Ooh,
and get
got a
that
wreck
thing.
up front, Jeremy.
Big wreck up front. 75 sweeting into the wall, trying to slow down here.
All right, man. Caution is out.
Yeah, 3,
Caution is
4,
out.
5 cars involved here. The 18, the number 7. Did look like the 15, Andrew Palicki once again. Looks like Chuck Sweeting finally made it into that wreck too as well. Number 10, Ryan Hedrick. And I think Brody Hanna just barely squeezed through that. He sure did. Out of some amazing luck, barely squeezed through.
Yeah, you saw Chuck. I think he was trying to avoid it there because that happened right in front of him. And I don't know if he just throttled down, but it reminded me of Carl Edwards at Kansas. He just went right up into that wall. As we see the 12, just came down right on his nose. And, nope, Chuck was just trying to hold on to it and still at the wall and try to keep going, but came down. And after that, mayhem ensued.
Looks like 86, Nicholas Casey also involved. After the incident happened, he got loose on the apron, came out the track and overcorrected. It looks like a total like 9 cars with damage for this one. This is the second big one this evening. 7th green flag caution tonight on lap number 56 of 75 and stage number 3.
Yeah. Well, watching these guys come up to speed. His cars carry some speed, and the brakes are just a little bit different here. And kind of see him blow it down there. I think that was the 18. I believe of Brian Bliss that was right on the outside wall trying to slow his car down.
Yeah, there's a lot less brakes in these cars, a lot heavier, and it's old school technology. These things are 35 years old, and they're trying it. They push these cars to the edge, but with old technology, it's hard to get these
Yeah.
things woe down.
Old drum brakes.
Yeah, essentially, right? No, none of the high tech shit. It's all just all the old school stuff. So, um, but once again, as we've come to know, these cars will self repair for the All Star race. So it's got a lot of people coming down for 4 fresh tires. That's the only thing you can really change, and they don't have tire limits either. It's all just get your car taken care of, and it'll take care of you. As far as the Goodyear tires go, um, quick notation: it's going to bring Mr. Brody Hanna up to 5th place after that wreck. The guy just 3 laps prior was back there in 14th. Now going to be sitting in 5th or 4th rather.
Yeah, he made his way through that wreck and put him in a great spot there. So that's where he wants to be. You see Simon Madigan, he's sitting in 3rd place after all that. That's the first time we've seen him run up in the top 3, running that Cold Trickle 46 City Chevrolet there.
Yeah, it's a great run here by Simon. Taking advantage of some of these wrecks, is keeping that car clean for the most part this race. Able to produce a top 3 at the moment here. Let's see if he can hold on to that. Simon's pretty fast, and he's got a cheerleader or 2 out there. So it's worked for him at Talladega. Maybe he can pull home 25 iRacing credits at the Charlotte race for the All-Star event.
Hey, I love some free stuff off of iRacing. That might be 2 cars, 2 tracks, be 1 track. It just depends. Or if you have them all like you get a big old discount. So you can get a couple out of that. So be excited to win 25 iRacing credits.
I'd love 25 iRacing credits. They're always updating cars, so either pays for the service of the car. Either way, I'm going to be topped off. They're not cheap, so I'll definitely take that and bank it for sure.
All right, Jeremy, we got 6 laps completed so far. This stage number 3. I know these guys want to have a green flag run. We want to see a green flag run because when they are out there, they're side-by-side racing. It's great racing, and it's been close racing. So there's just those little subtle touches, and these cars, they are a handful. So it just takes the slightest move, and we've seen it happen multiple times tonight. But we've also seen some great racing, side-by-side racing with these guys as well.
Yeah, I don't expect anything different as far as the side-by-side racing goes. These laps are counting down, so these guys want to make their moves. And with these cars, it's produced some awesome racing, but there is a fine line. You gotta make sure your car doesn't push up or get loose on the steering. Is not 100% in these things. So, nonetheless, I'm really pleased overall with how racy these cars look, especially at Charlotte. One of those tracks I wasn't sure of, but this is an awesome race so far to be watching, or I could feel like participating in this thing would be a blast as well.
Yeah, it makes me want to go race these after the broadcast. So I think they're at a road course, maybe Sonoma, I want to say this week. So I might go hit up an open server. I know that's all you old school cars with the road course. So might have to go hit that up a couple times this week.
I need Riverside.
Yeah, this is true.
I would love Riverside. Did that in NR 2003 for a long time. That was one of my favorites, and there's no way to reproduce it. But I could always wish and hope that one day, maybe sometimes they open a fictional track up and it might show up. But I won't hold my breath on it. But pace car lights are out. That means we got 2 corners left before we're going to go back to green flag action. I'm going to start off lap number 57 of 75 on this stage. It brings 18 laps remaining for you guys before stage 3 is over to set the final 10 laps up. Let's see if we can go caution free. All right, let's see if there's some moves made and some cars to get loose. We've seen it all basically at this point. We've seen 2 and 3 wide. We've seen spaced out. We've seen bunched up. We've seen huge wrecks. We've seen self spins. We've seen it all. Green flag is out once again for the 9th time this evening. Number 47 with a little tire spin, but able to hold off the 19 is actually, they're going to be side by side, minus the 12 car entering turn number 1.
Yeah, I think both of them there had a little bit of tire spin. We see a big check up here on that bottom inside lane there as the 46 Simon Magan wasn't able to hold it down as well on the inside lane, but checked up quite a bit there, and that's going to allow these 3-4 cars to kind of get itself a little distance on everyone. But you see Wayne Grossi making a move on the inside here, wasn't able to hold it down low and pushed up to the top. 11 car, Tony Stoller barely gets into the outside wall.
Yeah, 7 made a move and decided, nope, that was not going to be too risky. And then Tony backed up just a little bit, and it shot us crap the track. But he didn't really lose any ground there at all. You see the number 10, Ryan Hedrick, trying to make a move there on the bottom, but he gets checked up by the 14 of Stephen Allen. Looks like Wayne Grossi in that 7 just a little bit slow on the bottom here. It's going to allow that number 11 of Slide to make a great launch off of turn number 2.
And as all that's going on, Richie Coy in that 19 is going to make a pass for that lead on the 47 of Chris Stouffer. But Chris Stouffer's not giving up yet. He's trying to make a run back on the inside as he's coming up right to the door of Richie Coy. He's going to try and take that spot back. He's not giving up yet with Brody Hanna looking on the inside as well, but you think he might settle him back on the outside.
Brody Hanna from 3rd to 14th to 3rd, all within like 7 laps. Pretty impressive stuff here. And he's waiting patiently. He's got to wait for that 47 to 19 to give way. Then you know he's going to be striking soon after.
That's kind of let these guys get back bunched up here. Simon Magan look on the inside of Brody Hanna with the 12 there. Jeff Langston, we saw him. He's up front and the back all night, so he's been fighting his car. He's looking to make a move as well, but still battling side by side between these two leaders.
If you notice, there's a huge tail of cars right behind these two guys side by side. They're kind of holding things up a little bit. They're all saying, hey, we want to turn at this. You guys got to give us room. But 19 and 47 causing a little bit of traffic jam. You see the 12 of Langston going to the top of that 46 City Chevrolet of Simon Magnan, looking like he's going to try to take over 4th.
Yeah, great, side-by-side race. Ooh, we see the 12 getting a little sideways there as it comes off of 4, but great save for him. Lost a little bit of ground. He's going to probably lose a spot here to Wayne Grossi. Grossi. I made the mistake that you did earlier. Ooh, put him in the wall there a little bit, but was able to correct as Wayne takes. Oh, nope, that 12 car is still a handful as he's trying to hold on to it and back into the wall again, Jeremy.
3 times this lap into the wall. Almost takes the 14 lane down with him, but thankfully unable to actually spin him out. He keeps a pretty decent job keeping up on the top side of the wall, but he is straight, all the way back to the field now. Oh, around the 18. Oh my gosh. Heavy impact right in front of some drivers. That's huge. That's going to be the caution for the 8th time. Green flag conditions wise, and both front tires and everything exploded off that 18.
That was huge impact. And even the 86 of Nicholas Casey that got into him there. You saw Nicholas's car basically not get destroyed, but get destroyed at the same time. Let's take a look here at the replay on our team.
That was just... I can always put myself in the driver's shoes and imagine that feeling of just knowing you're going to destroy these water barrels. And you have no time to react to. Once you're around in these cars, there's no saving it. And, man, that's huge. You're going to see the onboard here, the 18 himself. Let's see if the camera even survives. Just, there's nothing but motor and chassis right there.
I want to see an onboard camera of Nicholas Casey as he's coming through on that one. Like I said, it was like he hit it. Pieces exploded without exploding, I felt like, or it was still pieces coming off from the first incident. I'm not sure, but with the quick repair, he was okay. Was able to keep it going. He didn't slide his tires or anything, so we'll take a look here on our TV.
We're getting a couple good angles here. We're going to see Casey here just take the blunt of this impact, just boom. But thankfully, some net code involved in this case allows him just essentially drive through the car. The car self-repairs right here, and then he's good to go. So very fortunate for the 86 right there.
Yeah, perfect timing, I guess you could say, for that, because it was a little bit of, like you said, that net code. You can see the hood crinkle up a little bit there as he hit him, but sparks were flying, and then all of a sudden they were gone, and now he's going to be sitting here. I believe he's going to be in 7th, I want to say, with Brian Bliss, whose front end was completely just gone, couldn't even see it. He's going to be rolling out in 8th starting position, I think, on this restart, because everyone else came down pit road.
Yeah, I think you're correct there, but man, that's kind of changes up some things there. With tire strategy now we're we're halfway through this segment, so we're gonna start seeing a lot of strategy potentially. and depending on what you want to do to set yourself up for the final 10 laps, that's a much shorter stint than these rest of the ones that they have.
Yeah, and I keep looking at that Hardy's car there, the 14 of Stephen Allen. That's just making me get hungry. I have a double Western bacon cheeseburger sitting in the kitchen for me after this race, and every time I see his car go by, it just makes me want that burger more and more.
Did you not?
Making you jealous over there?
A little hungry. It's fine. I'll have to survive. We're almost done with this thing, and I might go make up a sandwich. I don't have anything that amazing waiting for me, but it's a close second. And I think you showed me a photo of it too beforehand, so just kind of add on the jealousy. It's just a little bit more.
Oh no, that one. If I'm just gonna add on some more jealousy, that was the new Primal Angus Thick Burger. That was a Jurassic Park special they got out right now, and it was amazing. So just add a little bit more to you.
Yeah, producer is not pleased with you either. Does it made out of real direct dinosaur meat though? Being a Jurassic
blue
burger
meat, I think.
Oh,
is that? Is that
sorry,
too far?
Sorry for the fans out there. Sorry for the fans of Blue the Dinosaur. Yeah, we'll find out. Yeah, Rip in the chat, please. Someone can type in Rip for us. We'll find out June 10th, I guess, if that is actually a true statement or not. But looks like potentially 2 laps left on these caution runs here. And a lot of the normal casuals, the 19, the 23, Simon, Wayne, a lot of the front runners typically. So these coming down to the end here, it looks like a lot of the guys that are normally up front have found the groove in these cars and wanting to top off their seasons.
Richie, he would love to end off the 22 season A with an All-Star win, took home the championship, showed up, fighting for just a win. Not even fighting for a win, just trying to go out there and get a win. The last race of the season, already had a championship locked up, so trying to get this All-Star win, just add to this great season that he had. Even in the Truck Series, he had a great run for it, and all the other series that he ran. So far, 22 season, no matter what series he's in, Richie's he's been on it.
Such dominant fashion too, especially the long runs. Like I've already said, this he's my go-to guy. These cars are a little bit different, but it looks like he's got it under control for the most part. On par with a lot of these guys, keeping up his tire wear to where it needs to be. I'm going to go back and look at the 86 and 47 for this restart. We're going to have 15 laps once the green flag drops. And I really feel like that 47 and 86 are going to be back up there, dicing up for the top 5, trying to get back to where they were, especially that 47, who was just leading not too many laps ago.
The one I got my eye on, Jeremy's at 86, sitting 3 rows back on the outside. 3 fast cars up on that outside lane, Brody Hanna, Wayne Grassi, and the 86 there. So we'll see what happens.
Yep, and looks like restart is out right now. 19 with a pretty good start over the 46. Looks like Brody Hanna was almost able to keep up with him. A little bit of trouble shifting through the gears there. It's going to allow the 19 to clear. The 23 entering turn number 1. 46 Simon Magden with a pretty good battle there. Looks like Wayne Grassi might. No, I don't see a caution flag yet. There it is. Caution is out. The number 4, the number 11 involved in this one. And also the 75 and 18. These guys have been having bad luck all race long.
I think it was the 18 there. Brian Bliss got into the 75 of Chuck Sweeting. And just with these cars, it's hard to control. And it looks like Chuck went ahead and whooped it around there. We'll see here on... Oh, yep, we got hit by the 12 there.
Yeah, the 12 just sent the 18, Brian Bliss, into the middle of the track. Chuck Sweeting, just a complete innocent victim there. Gets involved in that, hits 18 again, ramps onto the 11's front, and then the 15, Andrew Palicki, actually hit the number 11 as well. That's going to bring your total car count to 6 to have some type of damage from this one, which results in your 9th green flag caution tonight.
Yeah, and just kind of listening to some of the radio chatter, and they set this one up, Jeremy, for a 2-hour session. So I believe at 11, just after 11, maybe 11:05, server's gone. So we got to see a little bit less cautions here and get more green flags so we can get this thing to end under under the green flag run. Hopefully we can get there. I mean, we're pretty close. We're 24 laps left. So let's see if we can get going before it gets past dark.
Yeah. As far as that timer goes, yeah, we usually not have to worry about that. And with this league, as you usually know, watching us each and every Monday and Wednesday, there's not many cautions. But it's an all-star event, so there's a little different mindset here. It's not a points battle; it's all for money. So that being said, there's 24 and a half minutes left until the timer runs out, and there is a total of 24 laps left. So essentially, they need to average just around a minute per lap to end this thing, to the flag. But these cautions right now, looking at the stats, these cautions are a minute and a half long each. So if they have a couple more cautions, Kenny, it's going to be close.
It's going to definitely be cutting it close, and this might turn into a lap event to a timer event. So they might have their F1 screen up and watch that timer kick down and see who's leading the way as the server crashes. And we're going to have the cameras on it so we see who took the win there. Hopefully we don't have to see that happen. Hopefully this plays out. Green flag run. I know these guys want to see it. We want to see it. 24 total laps to go, 14 left in this segment. And we got the final segment at 10, which is also going to add some more caution laps there. So we need to see this thing finish green and then go from there on the 10-lap shootout.
Yeah, who knew they were potentially going to be racing an F1 style timer event, I've gotten myself pretty accustomed to that recently, but not these guys. I don't think these guys have done that kind of race in a long time. So they have to time manage. That means that little side-by-side action might have to taper off a little bit to get this thing to the end on normal lap count. So, but there is one more guaranteed stop. They have that competition yellow to reset with 10 to go. Do they forego that though? I think that's an admin thrown caution. Do they drop that off? You got to do some stuff on the fly to get this race done if there's going to be a couple more cautions, because at this pace, they are not going to make it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we do see a couple more cautions that they switch it up. But we'll see where it kind of stacks up, and hopefully we can finish it. We don't have to worry about it. But, it's just, it's one of those things. These guys are all out battling, trying to get up to the lead, trying to win this all-star race and prove who's the all-star this first part of the season here. And unfortunately for some, it's just not paying off the way that they like.
Right now, Richie Coy is in a great spot as he's still leading this thing at the moment. Brody Hanna's found himself back to second. He's bad fast in whatever he races. Two of those Fear Motorsports guys. And the Fords, not many Fords in this field, and they're showcasing at 1 and 2, and everybody else behind them is basically a Chevy. Let's see if they can kind of keep that throne, or does someone, know that's like 5th or 6th place, like, hey, the timer's actually out. This is weird. I need to get up front sooner than what I even thought. So even though some of these guys in the front might take it a little easier, these guys who wants that $25, like 6th place, like your pick, 86, Nicholas Casey, does he make some moves that are a little more aggressive to get in that position?
I think he's got the car to do it. He's been up there and battling out, and then he's kind of gotten into some bad luck there. I think he was battling top 3 for one moment in time, and went on the inside wall, and then was making his way back up there, and then got into another little accident. So I expect him to kind of make his way back to the front here.
I expect it as well, but let's see how clean we can get. A couple of these drivers had bad luck all race long, so if we can maybe erase some of the bad luck from like the 12 of Langston. Let's see, there was the 18 Brian Bliss, who this past stage or two, crazy amount of bad luck. 75 Chuck Sweeting. Recently too, the number 11 Tony Solari's been involved in almost every wreck. Andrew Palicki too in that 15 was just really bad amount of luck between those midfielders right now. So let's see if they can get that turnaround. Let's see if we can get some green flag laps ticking, because right now we're just under 20 minutes left, and we have still the allotted 24 laps left. So we're, about 50 seconds per lap average to get this thing done. Will it happen? Let's see what happens. Green flag is going to be out. Mr. Premature Patrick, always trusting with that flag. Green flag is out. Good start for the 19 again. 23 going through the gears a little slower. Cuts down across that number 7's nose and almost takes it 3 wide here in turn number 1.
Yeah, these guys aren't backing it down, going single file racing. They're going 2-3 wide racing as we see Brody Hanna on the high side, 46 on the low side. A little further back, getting a little dicey, but so far so good. Keeping it clean off of 2, heading down into turn 3.
Yep, couple side-by-sides and a lot of single file here. The side-by-side really is going to be for 2nd and 3rd and then 4th and 5th. A little bit of gap between those 2-by-2s here, but outside of that, some pretty good battles for inside the top 5. And just outside is where they get a little bit more single filed, other than, actually, off of turn number 4, the 12 and the 47. That's Stouffer and Langston running pretty strong here, than the 10 and the 11 also.
Yeah, great battle here up for the lead spot. We have Brody Hanna trying to make that pass on Simon Madigan. He's getting all over the back bumper of Richie Coy as they were heading into turn 1 there. Lifted a little bit just so he doesn't have any contact and keep it going. But Simon's fighting strong on the low side, Jeremy. He's kind of holding that grip down the low side. Brody's keeping it up on the top. So those two are showing side-by-side racing, good racing, and Richie's enjoying every minute because it's keeping him out front.
Yeah, it really is, and I agree with you. I think he's really excited to see that, though. He's going to have to get some more space between these guys. He can't get too comfortable. And Brody Hanna's back on the charge right away. Simon Magden's actually broke out a pretty decent gap there between the 86 of Nicholas Casey and the number 7 of Wayne Grassi. And the 47 now side-by-side with the 14, so pretty decent battle here trying to get into the top 5.
Yeah, the 47 and the 14 both had great runs coming off of 4 on that last lap there, and that kind of pushed him up with those other guys, but fell a little short on that last one. That's going to put Nicholas Casey back up into that lead spot, trying to run back these leaders. We see the 14 almost and then the outside wall, but was able to keep it off. But it looks like Andrew Palicki as well on the low side, trying to keep it down, not to come up there. Woo! Being Brian Bliss there as well, Jeremy.
Brian Bliss hard off the wall. Andrew Palicki, excellent driving to keep that thing straight in the middle, 1 and 2. Just hit the apron a couple of times, and man, that thing was wicked sideways and able to save it. Excellent job keeping that going. Going back to the race lead, 19 and 23 teammates side by side entering turn number 1.
Yeah, side by side. They're going to keep it clean between the two of them, but again, this is the All-Star race, and they're out here having fun, but they want to show who's the top dog of it. And we see a little crossover move here. 19 of Richie Coy is going to make a move on the inside, trying to get back around Brody Hanna. He said, Brody, not so fast when we get you back here.
19 didn't back up the corner. It's going to allow that 23 to get a good launch off of turn number 4. 23 barely leads this lap number 68, as we're just about 17 minutes left in the session.
Yeah, Brian Bliss got a little loose coming off of 4, had to take it down pit road, so that's going to put him back out of this pack. So hopefully he just does a little pass through, keeps it going, get back onto the last segment here. But as we continue on, we see Nicholas Casey trying to make his way up. He's running that 4th spot, sitting right behind the 46 of Simon Madigan. He can see those leaders, Jeremy. He wants to get back up there. This is where he was right before that last caution that he got into, so he's looking to make his way up to the front.
86 played the patience card and did it cleanly back up the top 4 and really trying to get up there for the race lead. But right now it is just packed full of the 19 and 23. Nowhere really for the 46 or 86 to go as they patiently wait for that lane to open up.
Yeah, behind these 4, though, it's just single file racing. No one's really battling for a spot. Everyone's just kind of falling in line. But these top 4, especially the 2 of them, these 2 teammates here between Brody and Richie, those 2 are going at it. And you see Simon and Nicholas Casey, they're trying to find what's the better line to go down. We've been seeing this all race where you see these guys side by side, and the ones behind them, they're going high, they're going low. They're just trying to see where they can make a pass.
16 minutes left in the session, 15 laps left in the overall event. Let's see what comes down first. We still have that competition yellow and 5 laps from now. So it's going to bring this thing really close. The 86 Nicholas Casey is basically right where he wants to be on that top side as you see the leaders, the 23 and the 19, figure out where they're going to be. They're single file, but now Nicholas Casey, if he can get around that 46, he might have something for him.
Now, in that first segment, we saw Nicholas Casey have a great run towards the end of the segment, so we'll see where his car kind of plays out after this thing. You see Simon Madigan pushing on that. There, it's 1 and 2, push to the middle of the groove, and you see Nicholas Casey going to shoot to the inside. He had a great run on that high side and take that momentum with him, launch to the inside. Might bring the 47 there, Christopher, with him. That's going to put Nicholas Casey, if he can complete this pass, in the 3rd place, right where he wants to be to start this last segment of 10-lap shootout.
Yeah, he's putting himself in good position here. You see Christopher really trying to make a push as well as he's looking to the outside of Nicholas Casey there in that number 47 chrome and blue Chevrolet. Run that middle to upper groove here. 46 Magnan shoots it really high. Tries to get a great launch. Just not. Actually, he does get a pretty decent launch there after the exit fully completed. That 47 to take a look on the high side. Pretty good battle here for inside the top 5.
You know, either the 46, he found something because he's getting a lot of speed on the exit here, or he just been kind of overshot the last 2 corners there because he pushed up pretty far, but he didn't lose any speed. He kept going, so he might be trying a new line. But look up in front of them. Look how close you have it between Brody and Richie there. As they kind of got a little distance spread on them there as they were heading into the turn. But I mean, right as they were going at the entrance of turn 1, Richie was all over the back bumper. You couldn't even see the grill of that 19 Valvoline Ford there, Richie Coy.
2.5 laps before these things are all done here. The 19 really gets to the back bumper of the 23, trying to do anything to maybe move him up the track to give him one last chance to win stage number 3. 2 laps to go at the line.
Well, you see a big pack of racing behind these guys, too. It looks like these two, I would imagine Brody and Richie, they're just going to kind of settle in, finish 1-2 on this stage. So the battle is going to be right behind them, as we see here on our TV. You have Nicholas Case on the low side bringing everyone with him, trying to get around Simon Magnan in that 46. He's been running that 3rd position now since this restart, but I think Nicholas Casey, he's still not there, Jeremy. I thought he was going to be able to get by and clear him, but Simon Magnan's still fighting strong on the outside.
Simon impressing a lot of these guys out here in that City Chevrolet, doing his own right now on the top, and that's looks like it's almost the preferred line. It's really tough to say. It all depends on how you're on that bottom entry. That really sets up the entire corner. Looks like Nicholas Case was able to do a nice job at centering that car there at the bottom. Able to get a great launch through the center and clears him. The 47 almost clears the 46. It was so close, but he's able to keep it straight as they're coming up to the checkered flags here. It looks like Brody Hanna able to hold him off here as they're going to come turn number 4, and it looks like Brody Hanna going to win stage number 3.
Yeah, that's going to give him the second segment win of the night. He won segment 1 and
All right, man.
brought home segment 3.
Out.
So let's see what he can do here. Threw the caution a little bit later this time. Made sure everyone got across the line before he threw that caution. So that's going to keep that running order where it should be. He's catching the pace car. We'll see if they come down pit road, see who puts tires on, Jeremy, and we're going to have a 10-lap shootout. I think we might make it just in time as long as we get a nice little green flag run again.
13.5 minutes left in the session. 10 laps on the counter. Laps do not count during this. Admins do have that command to shorten up cautions. Let's see if it's utilized. You might want to, considering the time frame, but if they go green flag like that the rest of the way, Kenny, I think you're correct. I think they're just going to beat that clock by just a couple minutes.
Yeah, I hope this thing finishes under laps. I'd like to see a good battle instead of just, getting around and then time expires and session's over. So hopefully we can keep this thing going, finish under the checker flag and not have to worry about it. But Brody Hanna, Jeremy, I mean, we got four of the, the fastest guys that we've seen all night here between Brody, Richie, Nicholas, and Chris. We've seen those up in the, top 5 pretty much all night.
Shout out to Dustin Loxton for claiming the stage 3 winner back at the end of stage number 2 and did so correctly. Brody Hanna at 23 did win stage number 3. So good job on that. Looks like our picks are really all there. Any one of these guys can do it. Nicholas Casey, Kenny, I think that's your pick, and then mine was the 47 at this point. They're all there in the top 4. Put on a hell of a show for you guys. They got 10 more laps to figure this thing out.
And we see 2 cars that didn't come down pit road. 75 of Chuck Sweeting and the 12 of Jeff Langston. They're going to go ahead and stay out. 10-lap shootout. See if their tires can hold up. We know Chuck's got the speed, but I just don't know if we'll have it with the tires. And I think we got 2 people that took 2 tires I see coming off of pit road right now. The Richie Coy I know is taking 4. Stephen Allen, Brody Hanna, but Ryan Hedrick, Nicholas Casey, Chris Stouffer, all 3 of those took only 2 tires, Jeremy.
I don't want to put any bad mojo on this race, but the last time we had 2 tires and no tires out in front of 4, we had some chaos on these restarts. So let's see if it can be a little bit cleaner this time. Let's see if it pays off. This is Chuck's only opportunity, he feels like, to bring home a W. Same thing for Langston. That 47, 2 tires. The first one has something new on his car. He's going to be pouncing in a hurry.
You know, and the way that what we've seen, I'm just going to go off of what we've seen on these last restarts with the 2 tires to 4 tires, no tires. And then what we've seen tonight, I think, for this final segment, I might have to be going with Brody Hanna. We see the 12 coming down pit road right now as well. So I think Brody with the 4 tires, he's got the strongest car tonight. He's starting, I think, in 6th spot, I want to say. He might be circling around after this restart. So that might be my pick to win this whole thing tonight.
Just under 10 minutes left in the session. We're still at 10 laps to go, so we still have to average just underneath a minute a lap. So if we have one more caution, it's going to be tooth and nail. We still got, 2 more laps before this thing goes green flag. So it's going to be around the 50-second mark average on these green flag laps to get this job done. So really praying we see it all green flag 10-lap session here, else the winner might be decided by this caution.
Yeah, hopefully, I mean, you had it right. Hopefully all we see is a green, then a white, then a checkered. So 10-lap shootout, 11 minutes on the clock. Brody Hanna just announced it. So there we go, Jeremy. I think if we have one caution, I don't think it's going to happen. It'll be really close. But as long as we keep this thing green, we'll be good to go. But one caution, we'll be biting nails to see if we can get through it.
I think Brody looked at the clock wrong on my end anyways. Hopefully he has the same clock, but we have 8.5 minutes left on this one. And we still have 10 laps to go. Going to be coming real close for you guys. Who's going to win it? Is it going to be by checkers, or is it going to be by a stopwatch?
Yeah, hopefully it's by checkers. I like to see these guys race it out for the win, and I don't know if there's a buffer on it or not. I hope it's by his time and there's 11 minutes left instead of what we're seeing about 8 minutes left, because those 3 minutes could play some valuable time. Hopefully we don't need it though. We saw that last run there of, I believe it was 14 laps, 12 laps, something like that. So hopefully we get this thing double file restart. They had it set up a single file, but they're going to go ahead and put it double file because that's the way that we need to do it.
Yeah, they're gonna try to clear all the black flags. I think there is a double file command too as well. I honestly don't know that code, so I can't help them out even if I wanted to, but I think it's part of the book. Well, yeah, they're gonna double file them up, try to get these fired up, and hopefully there's a clean restart. Chuck Sweeting's in a really interesting predicament, Kenny, being the first car and only car with no tires taken on that caution here.
Well, it all depends on what book they're looking at, because if they're looking at your notebook, we saw how that played out this season. I'm just messing with you. Yeah, we'll see what Chuck can do. We saw how he went in, how these guys went in with 2 tires and no tires before, and like you mentioned, it was chaos. So hopefully that kind of shakes itself clear, and we don't have that, and we can get these last 10 laps green flag.
My book is garbage. I actually haven't even brought it with me for the past probably 2 months because it's not worth it. Calls are still bad in that book. I don't need them, and I think I've been doing much better without it. So, but pace car is down. We have 7.5 minutes left on the iRacing server counter, and we have 10 green flag laps to decide your winner for the All-Star event. Green flag is out. Chuck Sweeting with a great start here is going to need every ounce of that to try to keep up in the front here. Looks like 86 Nicholas Case with an excellent start as well. Going to try to clear the 47. Does not. Looks like Chris is going to have a great launch here on exit turn number 2.
Richie Coy with a great start. Lifted the rear tires of the 10 off the ground there. So he was ready to go. But that slowed him up. That's putting Nicholas Casey all over the back bumper of Chuck Sweeting as we see heading down to 3 and 4. Chuck, those tires aren't holding on as well as he'd like them to because he's 3 wide right now. I think he's going to be going 3 wide again as he's coming up. Brody Hanna going on the inside here.
23 around. Caution is out. This will end this thing with a timer and not a green flag. Looks like the 46 is around as well. Quite a few cars in this wreck, Kenny.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. We hate to see it. We saw the tight race in there, and I don't even think they got around for 1 lap, so that's going to bunch them back up to where we started this thing, and that's going to put Chuck Sweeting and Christopher back here on the front of the field.
Yeah, I think they got it. I think Chuck will be in the leader. I'm not too sure, but yeah, they were 4 wide exiting number 4 here. You just can't do that in these cars. There's just not enough grip, mechanical grip, to make that kind of thing happen. You saw the number 10 Ryan Hedrick just barely getting to the back bumper. The 23 sends him around. And I think just by reaction, actually, the 23 came back up the track, clipped the 46, sent him to the outside wall, sort of chatting in that number 4. And then, so about 3 cars in total damaged on this thing, including that guy who was doing so well, Mr. Brody Hanna.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we can get this thing, like you said, hopefully we can kind of speed up the process and get it going. But I don't think we are. Like you mentioned, we got 4.5 minutes here on the iRacing time. If we have Brody's time, we might have 7.5 minutes. So we might have one more shot at it, Jeremy. See if we can keep it green, and it'll be cutting it close.
Yeah, we'll see how this works out. Will we get one more lap anyways? I honestly don't know. I don't think these pace laps are going to turn off this time. I think it's going to be next time. So, and I'm going to guess 2.5 laps and 1.5 minutes each. So that puts you right about 5 minutes, roughly. And there is 4 minutes left in the session. So we might not even get a green flag attempt here.
Yeah, I heard Richie just said 6.5 minutes left when there's 4 minutes. So there are 2.5 minutes. I guess there must be some give time here. So we're coming to about 6 minutes away from what their time. So they must have a little bit of give here to give us. So 9 laps, 6 minutes as of now. It's not going to happen. Nope.
We might get 1.5 green flag laps according to their timer. Or it might just be like a scenario where we see the green flag come out with the white flag at the same time, or maybe the white flag comes out the next time for a true green-white checker. Because the server won't end under caution per se, I don't think. I think what happens is whenever the timer hits, kind of like road racing goes, that next lap is your white flag. So I think this will still be a green flag shootout. I just think I'm just trying to decide if it's 1 lap or 2.
Yeah, we'll have to see. They were just actually talking about jumping, a couple laps, skipping it ahead, and Brody said that he doesn't want to do that. He wants to keep this thing cycling through, doesn't want to manipulate the system by any way, shape, or means by speeding it up and then causing someone else to have a different spot than they should. So sounds like they're just going to let this thing play out, Jeremy, and the server's going to let us know when the white flag is. I think it's kind of like you mentioned, as soon as that timer hits, that might be why there's a little extra minutes, a couple time there. So as soon as it changes over, hopefully they give us that white flag. So we'll have to be on it and be paying attention for you guys out there.
Mad respect for Brody Hanna, too, making that call. He's been one of those guys that just buy the rule book all the time, and people usually, when they try to manipulate the book, they get bashed so hard, and if there's going to be a correct answer, it is going to follow the rule book. There's just, I think I'm going to agree with them. I think you got to stay the course no matter what the situation is. It's one of those weird anomalies. You learn from it, and then next week you regroup and decide. And one of these special events, how do you deal with it, right? Do you extend the time? Do you shorten laps? Whatever it needs to be. But I think they're making the right call by kind of sticking to the course.
Yeah, I think so. And as far as our time goes, yeah, we got about 1.5 minutes, and who knows? He might come around and take the green, white, checkered all at one time and end up winning this race under caution. So we'll keep an eye out as we're looking at about 1:15 left on our books. And if you add their time, if there's any leadway, we'll see what happens. But this could be it, Jeremy.
Yeah, it sounds like there's a 2-minute buffer roughly between us and them. So right now they're probably seeing 3.5 minutes, or actually just 3 minutes on their timer. So if that's the case, we're probably going to see 2, maybe 3 green flag laps. Based off our timer, I expect the white flag next time by, but we'll see. Either way, we're not going to finish this thing the full 85 laps of counted laps anyways. I know with cautions, we've definitely ran past 85, but we'll see what happens. Looks like the 12's going to be pulling down. He knows he's not in contention, so he's not going to try to hold anybody up. The 12 will be pulling down. It will be a natural thing for that blue and yellow Wrangler machine. Even though he's already kind of in the back, so he's not going to let too many people by, but he's wanting to give everyone the best chance possible. 75 on the point for this restart. Did cycle back in first. 47 on the 2 sets of Goodyears. Much better than Chuck's. Let's see if he can get a great jump here. 86, we know he's bad fast. He's going to try everything in his power to clear both of these guys. We're going to find out in just a few short laps.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag is officially out. Chuck with a great restart. Looks like the 47 missed a shift. He falls back early, almost getting passed entirely by the 86 entering turn number 1. Side by side, Chuck Sweeting's liking this temporarily.
Yeah, Chuck's trying to hold on, but he's got one of the fastest cars of the night. Nicholas Casey right behind him, Richie Coy right behind that, and even Christopher. So Chuck Sweeting's driving the drive of his life right now, trying to hold on to win this All-Star race as they're heading into turn 3. And we just got to might see a caution, for the white flag, right, come out just any moment now. So Nicholas Casey making the pass here, Jeremy.
We're watching the flag stand, see when that white flag does fly. We're past the 2-hour mark on our books. Do not see a white flag this time. Looks like we got at least one more lap to go after this. We'll find out, but Chuck Sweeting trying everything in his power to keep the 86 behind him and just can't do it. Not enough grip. 86, Nicholas Casey to the point. Richie Coy also looking on the inside.
Yeah, Nicholas Casey's going to go ahead and make the move. Richie Coy needs to get around Chuck Sweeting right here if he wants to have a chance to get around Nicholas Casey. We know Nicholas Casey has a strong car, and so does Richie, but yep, Richie's going to go ahead and looks like he's going to clear Chuck here as he's coming across. Still no white flag, so we're still keeping this thing green based off of theirs that they only have 1 or 1.5 minutes. We see Brody going through the grass here. He's able to collect his car and keep it going. He's going to, a little bit, Chuck, nice save there by Chuck Sweeting here in turn 1 and 2.
A little bit of pass in the grass action, a little bit of 3 wide through turn number 2, able to keep it nice and straight. Awesome driving there by Chuck, but those old tires just dropping him to the rear here. We see that Simon Magnan get around him. He was currently in 6th, now pops into the top 5. And Nicholas Casey got about a 2 or 3 car length advantage over that 19 of Richie Coy, as I have yet to see that white flag fly.
Yeah, we're getting close. I mean, we're past our timer. We're getting up on their timer. This time around, we'll be sitting on, how far back they were on their timer. So this could be coming to the white flag right here. We'll see how it all ends. But leading the way, still Nicholas Casey, who's had a strong run, and Richie Coy, he's trying to run him down. I think it's going to come down to these two guys.
Man, this is going to be real close. If their counter's 2 minutes past ours.
Yep, there it is.
White flag is in the air. This thing will be 2 laps short of the scheduled finish. And Richie Coy has just over a mile to figure out how to catch that 86, who's been oh so fast here. Running through turn number 2, Richie giving it all he can, but just that 3 car lengths advantage still there for that 86. He needs a clean number 3 and 4. And on lap number 83 is going to end this thing 2 laps shy of the thing. And Nicholas Casey, your 2022A All-Star race winner, claim your $25.
What a great run there by Nicholas Casey. From the back to the front to the back to the front. What a drive to hold on. And even if we had those extra 2 or 3 laps, Jeremy, I think Nicholas still had it.
I think you're right. I think that car was just too fast. Maybe Richie got maybe a car length closer, but 86 just hell of a performance all race long. Able to maintain that momentum, clear some of those late wrecks, and get himself in position. Excellent job by Nicholas Casey. Congratulations, man, on that hard-fought W.
Yeah, great race all around. Weren't able to finish under green, but no big deal. See a little bump there by Brody. Great finish. We'll see what we get out here. We'll get a nice little burn out here. There he goes. Slide through the grass. Let's see it.
They have 4.5 minutes before this session closes out. So get your burnouts in, do what you got to do, and then that's it. Don't just cook them down. Just do all four minutes of burnouts. It doesn't matter. Let's go ahead and go over the finishing results here for the All-Star events for the Full Throttle Sim Racing. Nicholas Casey, as you see in that number 86 black and red Chevrolet, takes home the checker flag this evening. Richie Coy finishes in 2nd. Christopher 3rd. Brian Hedrick 4th. Simon Magnan rounds out the top 5. Chuck Sweeting finishes in 6th. Wayne Grossi in 7th. 8th place is Stephen Allen. 9th place, Chad Lang. In the top 10, Mr. Brody Hanna.
Coming home in 11th is Andrew Palicki. 12th is Tony Sawari. 13th, Jeff Langston. 14th is going to be Brian Bliss. He's going to be 15 laps down. He did not finish the race. 15th, Brandon Elder also did not finish this race. And the first one that was out due to packet loss is Stephen Woot Allen coming home in 16th place.
And this is going to bring us to the Martin Sports post-race show, presented by, of course, Martin Sports himself. We have one person to talk to. And that's none other than the only person we need to focus on for an all-star event, and that is your race winner, Mr. Nicholas Casey. Let's see if we can get him in here for a quick word or two. Nicholas Casey, you got a copy?
Yeah, got you, buddy.
Crazy way to end this race. A timed session over the completed lap count. But either way, your car was bad fast all race long. Found yourself in great position at the end. And congratulations on the All-Star event win. How do you feel, man?
I'm ecstatic, man. This is awesome. I've never raced these cars before. I bought them 5 days ago. Thought I'd have fun with it, and man, that was some fun.
Oh, you could tell that you could have fooled us with the way you're driving that thing. You came from the back to the front, to the back to the front, holding strong. I mean, we were picking you up here in the booth for a couple segments. We saw that your car had it all. So, great run. You're going to take home the 25 iRacing credits, the All-Star bragging rights for the first part of the season. I just want to say congratulations myself. What a great run you had.
Thank you very much. I gotta thank you guys as well. I got people watching at home. They appreciate getting to watch me race. So thank you guys. Thanks everybody at FTSR for putting this on. If I'm not mistaken, we'll be here in the truck series on Wednesday. So I can't wait for that.
Yeah, you're 100% correct. The Truck Series points race does start at this very same track, Charlotte. So you have a nice little practice session here. You're a quick adapter. 5 days, had this thing purchased, and you just showed up. A lot of the fine talent that FTSR has to offer. So, how much practice time did you have within those 5 days of owning this car? Because you couldn't have done that with just a couple laps of practice.
No, I have a lot of people helping me behind the scenes, and Charlotte's just one of those tracks. I feel like all those 1.5 mile tracks are in our wheelhouse, and apparently I was correct.
You mentioned too, you had some people out there watching. You're correct. You had a handful of people was cheering you on tonight in our chat groups that we had all out there. So definitely had the support, feeling it tonight, and had the car to bring it home.
I love it. Thank you guys. Have a good night.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you. You do the same. And that was Nicholas Casey, the winner of tonight's All-Star event. He's going to take home $25 in iRacing credits. So whatever he needs to purchase, maybe just comp that car purchase that he made 5 days ago. That shows his talent. Buys a car and wins in it 5 days later with some of the best of the best. So once again, congratulations to Nicholas Casey on the All-Star win for this. And Kenny, we finished in time, not by laps. Have you seen a Nova race finished in time? And if you have, how long has it been?
I have not had one finish on time. I wish I would have had a couple at Talladega when they finished under the lights with no lights. So pretty much finished in the darkness there. So I wish that one was timed. No, I haven't seen it though, but hey, it's 2 laps short. And like we mentioned, I mean, it's kind of like last night, Ryan Blaney was going to win that race. Nicholas Casey was going to win this race. He had him out there. I mean, Richie Coy was trying, but Nicholas had the car, and I don't think anyone was catching him, even if there was 3 laps left.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to go against you there. That car was he was one of the more consistent drivers up there. Anytime you get a wreck, he would always be right back up there, in a really short time, and kind of showcased what he had to offer. And definitely when the time was right, he shined the brightest and able to came home with the W. Before we close out tonight's broadcast, always have to thank our sponsors. And since we really didn't get a full rundown of everybody, we have the opportunity to do so now. Full Throttle Sim Racing, thank you very much for allowing us to do this every Monday and Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Nerd TV. If you're only watching us on YouTube, make sure to tell people we have Twitch and Facebook gaming as well for our broadcast. So we're across multiple platforms, and join our chats. We love to interact with you, as we've seen tonight as well. Head over to FTSR.net, sign up for their league. They have new series starting up this Wednesday. That's when points start for the new season for 2022B, so sign up. Sim Racing Points, thank you guys. You are the official sponsor of the Truck Series and a part of the Nerditudes group as well. It's your all-inclusive points league management system. Fully displays all your points, all your stats that your league needs to carry to keep everything formal, up to date, and looking good while doing so, and a great price point. So head over to simracingpoints.com. Check out the pricing plans. Get your league registered today. Thank you to Mark Sports, home of the sim gloves. And when I say the, I truly mean the home of all sim gloves and sim racing. They're the best product to put on your hands doing any type of racing or any sporting event at all while you're on the computer. You know, it doesn't have to be just racing. Any esport really that requires a steering wheel or like just anything. It keeps your hands sweat free. Awesome products, comfortable. It's just the best. You have to go to martinsports906.com and you can purchase hoodies, hats. They have cool apparel all across the board for you. Use Super Nerd at checkout, 25% off anything you purchase. A shout out to iRacingIFlag.com. It's that 64 light emitting diode LED matrix system. Essentially, it brings all the commands and notifications iRacing has to offer. It brings it to you in a little 4x6 3D printed outfit that sits on your desk. Super bright, keeps you focused on what's ahead of you on the racing surface. You go to iRacingIFlag.com. And when you pick up one of those products, make sure to use Super Nerd at checkout, 15% off. Shout out real quick to the Butt Kicker, thebuttkicker.com, official audio enhancement provider for the Nerditudes. You get 20% off when you use Nerd TV at checkout. When you pick up any one of their products, including that Gamer 2 unit, it's going to give you that much needed feel in your sim rig or just your computer chair. That's going to let you perform at your peak performance. And you're going to find that once again at thebuttkicker.com. Quick shout out to Nerd Focus, the official energy partner for the Nerditudes. 2 flavors, whatever you choose. Make sure to use Super Nerd at checkout at nerdfocus.com and keep yourself focused no matter what situation that you're in. Thank you to Moonlight Speed Concepts for the asphalt setups. You're the official provider for the Nerditudes. We use nothing but the best for the best. And you're going to pick up W's for sure when you use one of these setups. And you're going to go to moonlightspeed.com, register on Discord, and follow on Twitter for updates. And they do update these setups quite often. So please stay tuned and get registered. Great prices for the wins that you're going to get along the way. And then thank you to the House of Speed, houseofspeed.us. Same deal as Moonlight Speed, but they're going to be on the dirt side. They're going to cover all your dirt asphalt racing. Big blocks, late models, whatever you got on the oval side, they got you covered. That's houseofspeed.us. That's going to close out tonight's Nerd TV broadcast for the All-Star race. But stay tuned on Wednesday. The new season starts for these guys in the Sim Racing Points Truck Series. But until then, as always, stay safe and get your nerd on.
Later, nerds.